It's actually the last Friday for the Heritage Month, and that's why you see me in this beautiful cover and slit. You know, I think I want to start a challenge of getting young, beautiful ladies to be wearing cover and slits because it's so beautiful. It's nice to, to see, isn't it? Anyway, you're welcome to the show. We thank God it's Friday, and as you can see, I'm ready for the Salah, and today and tomorrow, I'm fasting with the Muslims. Nobody should come and say I didn't fast. So you cannot give me some of the meat, please. Today, I'm fasting. Tomorrow, I'm fasting. I'm joining my friends who are Muslims to fast today and tomorrow. You're welcome to the show once again. I am Serwaa Amihere. Today is Friday. We thank God it's Friday. Well, today's show is going to be a lot of legal conversation. You know why? Because there's a petition, in fact, 3 of them, to remove the Chief Justice, Torkonoo. But she says, no, she's not going to go down without a fight. And so yesterday, she wrote to the president asking respectfully to have copies of the petition that has been received to remove her. Well, I'm sure that you have seen as well on social media persons, in fact, 2 people who have gone to court or who have filed an action to stop the president from removing the Chief Justice, and an injunction application has been filed as well. They quote many articles. In fact, there's Vincent Asefwa, who is Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, who is saying or asking the Supreme Court to declare that consultation with the Council of State for the removal of the Chief Justice as null and void because flowing from the principles of natural justice and fairness, the Chief Justice is supposed to be informed about the said petition, and then she can respond before a prima facie case will be established or determined. Today we're going to be getting into the details of all of that, and I'm sure that you are very much interested. On Inside Out, we'll open the phone lines like we always do every Friday to get you to call. There are many who have said that the Chief Justice should probably just resign honorably because to them, it appears that it's a done deal because come what may, the Chief Justice is going to be removed. There are some who also say that we're going to be setting a very bad precedent if the Chief Justice is removed as a result of these petitions. There are some of you who have also asked to see the set petitions that have been sent to the President to remove the Chief Justice. Well, I am sorry to tell you that the established cases that show that whole process of the removal of a Chief Justice or even a Justice of the Superior Court is supposed to be held in camera. And in camera means from the petitions that are sent to the President for his or her removal to the setting up of the committee and all of that is supposed to be held in camera, meaning it's not supposed to be exposed to the public. And so, yes, you're very much likely not to see the said petition and what is contained in them. Yesterday, if you watched the show, we took you through the entire Article 146, which deals with the processes in removing a Justice of the Superior Court and a Chief Justice. Well, today there's time. We might run through it again because it's become very important. And then we'll talk to lawyers as well, get their perspective on what is going on. And I'm sure also that you've been monitoring the news. The Attorney General and his deputy has been providing updates on what has been happening with the former NSB boss, the arrest of his wife, the properties that are allegedly owned by him that has caused a lot of anger in the system. And also, we will look at the Edum fire and the rejection of the relief items sent by the Minister for the Interior by the traders. And then yesterday, I spoke with a member of the task force in the Ashanti region fighting Galamsey, and he said that the forest reserves have been freed from illegal miners. So as at yesterday, according to him, there was no single illegal miner in our forest reserves in the Ashanti region, and that is phase 1 of the fight. And that moving forward, they're going to move to the water bodies, and then phase 2 of the project is to ensure that the illegal miners do not go back to these forest reserves. We'll talk about that as well. And so that's what our show is looking like. Today is Freestyle Friday, and so we have Yao Darling on the show. You don't want to miss that also. You're welcome officially. If today's your birthday, a big happy birthday to you. If you know anyone who is celebrating their birthday, please wish them a happy birthday for me. But you know what's more exciting? You can send your birthday wishes to your loved ones and we'll read them live on air for you. You're officially welcome to the show. I am Serwaa Amihere. Let's begin with our quote of the day. And today's quote of the day is by Vince Lombardi, and it reads, "Perfection is not attainable, but if we chase perfection, we can catch excellence." In fact, I don't even like perfect people. I like people who try to achieve excellence, and that is what you should be aiming for. And that is our daily dose of motivation for the day. You know that on Fridays, we bring you a wrap of words that we have brought you the entire week. Kind courtesy Lorraine. Let's take a look at this week's.
Here is a recap of the words we brought you this week. On Monday, we brought you a launch. On Tuesday, we brought you effervescence. On Wednesday, we brought you infallible. And on Thursday, we brought you acclimatize.
And those are the words that we brought to you the entire week. It's now time for my favorite part of the show, and that is the video of the day. I love Fridays because that's the only day that I get to, dance like this in the studio. Anyway, let's get serious now. It's time for Inside Out. On Inside Out on Fridays, you know that we open the phone lines and give you the opportunity to call and share your thoughts with us on the many things that have happened this week. And one of the most topical things happening this week is the petitions to remove the Chief Justice. Now, the President, through the Minister for Government Communications, Felix Kwakye-Ofosu, told us, or said in a statement, that the President had received 3 petitions to remove the Chief Justice. And those petitions, in accordance with the Constitution, has been sent to the Council of State, because the President is supposed to, with the Council of State, come to a conclusion on whether or not a prima facie case has been established, after which a committee will be set up to investigate the Chief Justice, and the recommendations of the Chief Justice, of the committee, will then be sent to the President, who will carry out what the recommendations of that committee is, and it could be whether to remove the Chief Justice or keep the Chief Justice. Following that, we saw the first suit filed by the Member of Parliament for Old Tafo, Vincent Assefoa, who is challenging this consultation with the Council of State on the removal of the Chief Justice, asking the Supreme Court to declare it null and void because the Supreme Court, or the President, I beg your pardon, has not given the Chief Justice a hearing before the set consultation with the Council of State. I know that since yesterday and this morning, there's been a lot of legal conversations on this. Now, if you watched the show yesterday, we run you through the entire Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution, which provides the processes to remove a justice of the Superior Court or a Chief Justice. We run you through all of that. We supported it with Frankie GHOne versus the Attorney General. Well, yesterday, when we saw that action, or that suit filed by Vincent Assefoa, whose lawyer, by the way, is a former Attorney General, Godfred Dame, well, many said that the Constitution does not explicitly ask the President to, give the, I don't want to call Amihere accused person, but give the Chief Justice a hearing before a determination of a prima facie case. Some say that is not what the law says. Others heard that they are, decided cases. And I have seen that decided case, Derry versus Tiger Eye, that case that involved Anas, when he made all of those exposés about the judges. He later sent a petition for the removal of those judges. Well, yes, it was said in that case that the justices, or that particular judge, which is Derry, should be given a hearing. But, it wasn't a question for the court to answer, because I've also seen those who say that it's an obiter. An obiter does not make a binding precedent. So the court, or the President, I beg your pardon, is not binded or is not mandated to give any hearing to the Chief Justice. The Chief Justice herself yesterday said in a letter that we have seen to the President, asked for the set petitions that are being sent to the president for her removal. And she said that as Chief Justice, in all the petitions that she has received for the removal of one justice of the Superior Court or the other, which she says she has received 5, she had always given these judges a hearing before a determination of whether or not there's a prima facie case. And so she would want the same courtesy to be extended to her. Well, very interesting times, if you ask me. But the Supreme Court is going to be busy. But I am very interested in knowing what the outcome of this is going to be. But I want to hear from you, like I was asking you earlier. Do you agree with the school of thought that says that the Chief Justice should probably just resign honorably, because to them it appears that it's a done deal, and come what may, they will remove her? Or you agree with those who say that she should fight it through till the end, because there's also another action that has been filed at the Supreme Court, which comes with it an injunction stopping the president from removing Torkonoo as Chief Justice? Well, very interesting times. But I want to hear from you. I also want to hear from you your thoughts on the Edum fire. This isn't the first time that we are seeing this happen. It's always happening every time one market is getting bent or the other. Just a couple of months ago, we saw what happened in Kantamanto. Well, this week, it is Edum in Kumasi. And the Interior Minister took some relief items to them, 1,500 bags of rice, 800 boxes of oil, and 1,000 boxes of soap. But these traders say that is not what they want. They want financial assistance. They want the market built again, the structures put up again. And so there's that. And then we will also talk about Galamsey. There are some who say they are not very impressed with the NDC's fight, or John Dramani Mahama's fight with Galamsey so far. But yesterday, I spoke with a member on the task force on fighting illegal mining in the Ashanti region, who said to me that as at yesterday, when it comes to the forest reserves in the Ashanti region, there was no single illegal miner there. And that is just phase 1 of the fights against Galamsey in that region. So these are the major things that have happened this week, and I want to hear from you. I'm going to be opening the phone lines now. Please, when you call, I know that it's very lovely to hear yourself speak on TV, but if you want me to hear you, and if you want the viewers at home to hear you, you're going to have to reduce your volume, or the volume on your TV set. Make your delivery very crisp, short, Let's exercise some decorum so that we have a very nice conversation. Right, so the phone lines have been opened, but I'm in the studio with Murtala Inusa. He's our court correspondent and our in-house lawyer. Murtala.
So, a lot's happening. A lot. In fact, has it ever happened that we've seen a situation like this under the Fourth Republic? That is certainly no.
What situation?
A situation where a certain president will refer a certain chief justice to Council of State. It has never happened before. And at all material times in situations like this, then provisions in the 1992 Constitution always come to the fore. And today, what we are discussing, or this week, the focus within the 1992 Constitution is always Article 146 and its related provisions. And like you mentioned, the reactions out there, the people who are involved directly and people, stakeholders, you want to put it that way, are all showing their side to the case. You mentioned cases that have been filed at the Supreme Court. Yes, as far as we do know, 2 of them have been filed yesterday. Even one before the Chief Justice. We saw the Chief Justice's request letter to the presidency requesting for the said petitions. And yesterday, one thing that we were discussing, you highlighted on that, GHOne versus Attorney General and one other. Very interesting. And that particular provision also featured in the Chief Justice's request to the president. In fact, when we come to court today, we'll explain some of them. We'll go through the CJ's request letter. But I think that at this particular point in time, we are seeing the battle of wits as a legal argument, legal submissions, When you go to social media, you are seeing a lot of submissions, a lot of arguments within the same 1992 Constitution, specifically Article 146. And it's very interesting. You learn a lot of things within that space. So a lot are happening within the space in the context of these petitions that have come out.
Right. I think I've got my first call on the line. Hello, good morning.
My beautiful Serwaa.
Alaji, good morning.
Good morning. How are you?
I'm well. Alaji, today make your contribution very brief, okay?
Serwaa, and these issues, okay, no problem. I'll make it briefly. Let me send my blessing to my boss, Chief Audu Soka, and Dr. Abukar Wumbi, and entire listener, Excellency John Draman Mama. Let's thank you very much. Serwaa, when you look about the petitioners, I think some of us, we also support the petition. I hope you also will support that petition, because people write the petition to the president, and you need a copy for the petition. Are you also president? One Chief Justice, Madam Torkonoo, she doesn't deserve well. When we stole see the verdict and you have been sitting with that verdict, look about the issue about Parliament. We all know you do the MPP bidding. So when you do it, and you know very well that we have a constitution in this council, just use the constitution to judge the case. And you sit there to rule it in favor of your political party. So if you use it as in favor of your political party, you just damage your SF image. Because of that, and people writing petition to remove Chief Justice Madam Torkonoo because she doesn't do well for the country. How country will govern like this? If you think we will govern the country with no any law, it means that the country will be governed anyhow. So we need to understand each other. So when the guy, Asafwa, went to court, you Asafwa, when we send the issue into court, you are a member of parliament, and you go and sit in for the television station and defend that nonsense. So what kind of country we are built?
Alaji, I'm sorry. I'm sorry, but we have to let you go. But you remember, I said that let's exercise decorum when we call. So no abusive words, you know. I'm sorry, but I have to take you off. Alaji, thank you very much for calling. We have another call on the line. Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning. Serwaa, how are you?
I'm doing very well, thank you. Tell us your name and where you're calling from.
Please, this is King Kaka from Torkonoo.
King Kaka, how are you?
Oh, I'm doing great.
Great, let's
My
hear.
issue would do with the electricity container, which is missing.
Okay.
It's very absurd and unacceptable. I think the former Minister of Energy, those who are head of the electricity company, must arrest it right now and question it. Why is it that our taxpayers' money have been used to acquire things to solve our electricity problem the MPP left behind? And the current minister is going for the materials and 1,000 plus. Why did those containers try to? Please. It's very high time they must respect we the citizens, the poor Ghanaian, who they did that tax from us. Please, up for this one. I need the oral team led by Richard Zappa and its crew and Nathan Kofi Boate. Wherever that container is, we need it right now. Those who stole it must be arrested and charged so that to serve a deterrent to others. About the fire service officer too, please, the good people of Kumasi, you know, we have need and we have want. So if disaster have happening, first of all, it's what you eat and where you lay your sleep. The minister bringing you an item and you are rejecting it. This is below balance, and we shouldn't go this target again. By getting to Excellency John Dramani Mahama and Honorable Chief Counsel. Thank you. All
right. Thank you very much, King Kaka. Well, I have heard the energy minister say that those containers have been intercepted and they have been taken to a safe location. And a certain Indian man has been arrested as well. And by the way, the national security is not being and he said Oral is not being headed by Richard Jakpa. Not at all. Richard Jakpa comes nowhere close to Oral. Yes, but I don't know what has become of the Oral team now, because remember that Joyce Bawa Mukhtari told us that the Oral team will be, I don't know the word to use, but it will no longer exist once there's an Attorney General in place.
I think they are working remotely these days.
I don't believe so. Do you know why I say that? Because remember when the president met the Oral team and the Attorney General, they had this whole huge document which they said that they were handing over their investigations to the Attorney General. Yeah. So I don't think that the Oral team, the preparatory team, is still functioning.
Yes, but it's been quiet these days. I think the focus now is the kind of information that they have gathered and handed over to the Attorney General. So you note that the Attorney General last Monday, when he engaged the media, did indicate that investigations are still ongoing. So on Oral, there's nothing much to say until such time that there's something to say to the people of Ghana. So I think that in the context of things, for now, what is happening in Oral is in relation to what has been gathered and what has been given to the Attorney General to
All right, look at. Thank you. We have another caller. Mutala, take it.
Hello, caller.
Hello.
Good morning, caller. Your name and where you're calling from?
Yeah, good morning.
Good morning.
Please, my name is Abdul Hanan. I'm calling from Tamale.
Abdul Hanan. How is Tamale this morning?
Oh, we are doing well. We are fine.
Okay, so let's hear you.
Please, our contribution is just about mixing of the containers. That is why His Excellency Mahama is appointing the security team. We want him to work. That is why we voted him. So he knows what he will do to deliver for us. If he fails to deliver, we will blame him. So what I'm looking is that we should give him chance to do what he will do to deliver for us. That is the reason why we voted for him. But mixing of the containers, they should just check anybody hands is on it. They should arrest that person. They shouldn't leave it to free. That is why we vote His Excellency John Dramani Mahama back.
Okay, Anna.
My greetings to my lovely brother, Honorable Suleiman Al-Hassan, MP for Uyo 2020.
All right.
Thank you very much.
Thank you, Hanan from Tamale.
Okay, so, Musala, I understand that we have a lot of callers, but there's no time.
So, if we get time.
Yeah, so what have you got for us on court today?
Yes, court today is all about the conversation that we've been having, the request from the Attorney General, Honorable Serwaa sued at the Supreme Court, Osei also sued at the Supreme Court. And in fact, some of the things, Men's Go, James Jachikwesin, and of course today, we are having the Edu Buahin's bail application also at the Human Rights Court and all of that.
The bail has been set for 200 million cedis.
Absolutely, that was
and
what
they say that is too high.
So the Human Rights Court today will be hearing submission from the lawyers of the suspects who are still in lawful custody as per the investigations and all of that. So this
I suspect that they will beat it down a bit further.
For that one, the court has always gotten the system where they can revise bail conditions for persons who are in situations where they cannot execute their bail conditions. But we'll hear the submissions because at the last time when the AG updates the media, I did ask him about the fact that, look, you want the man remanded for further investigation. He said, look, it is for me to justify that he is a flight risk. And for that matter, he will not be able to avail himself if granted bail. And of course, the court has certain things to look at when bail applications are made and what will have to be looked at. But let's just go through the Chief Justice's request to the presidency by way of the petitions that we have been told have been sent to the office, the Council of State. So on your screens now is a copy of the request that the Chief Justice has sent to the presidency dated 27th of March 2020. 25. And on it now, these are the people that she has actually addressed the request to: the President Supreme Court, President Association of Magistrates and Judges, and the President Ghana Bar Association. All of them are in copy. And pay attention to the heading of this particular request. A request to be given copies of petitions submitted against Chief Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Torkonoo, Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana, before conclusions. What conclusion is made of consultation between His Excellency the President and the Council of State under Article 146 and 6 specifically. And these are some of the things. So as you can see, these were the people who have been attached with the copy. Let's look at the substance or the content of the request itself that the Chief Justice has sent to the Presidency in relation to the petition that we have been told have been forwarded to the Council of State to be able to review it and then update or advise the President on what to do. So we just want to go through the content of that particular petition request that the Chief Justice has, as it were, sent to the President, or the President, I might say, for the so let me go through. It says that, respectively, on the night of Tuesday, March 25, a communication from the Presidency was circulated on social media announcing that the President has received 3 petitions for my removal as Chief Justice of the Republic of Ghana pursuant to Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. The communication further stated that the President had forwarded the 3 petitions to the Council of State to commence the consultation processes and all of that. So that's just but let me take you to the concluding part of the Chief Justice's request and let you understand what she's saying. He said, "I am by this letter humbly and respectfully asking His Excellency the President and eminent members of the Council of State to forward the petition against me to me and allow me at least 7 days after receipt of same to provide my response to you, which response can then form part of the material that you conduct the consultation anticipated under Article 1466 of the 1992 Constitution before the possible setting up of a committee of inquiry under Article 1467. I said, thank you very much in anticipation of consideration. So that's one of the, so on your screen, that's the concluding part of the Chief Justice's request to the Council of State. And so one thing that we were discussing yesterday on your screen, check the top there, GHOne versus the Attorney General and Akwete featured also there. So that is some of the things that the Chief Justice has been saying. So as part of the request, she has also been saying that it is the compilation of the evidence in the petition and the response of the judge that guides the Chief Justice to determine as a sole inquirer under Article 1463 whether a prima facie case has been looked at it in all of that. So in brief, that is what the Chief Justice is saying by way of this particular request to the President, seeking copies of the petition of that have been put before the President for her removal. So let's look at the reactions that are coming by way of Asifua Vincent Ekowasofua's action at the Supreme Court yesterday. And this one was filed yesterday exactly at 1:20 p.m. and all of that. So Vincent Ekowasefua and the Attorney General because it is the principal legal advisor of the Republic of Ghana for the government of the day, and then it is telling you that in the name of the Republic of Ghana, you are hereby commanded within 14 days after the service on you of the statement of the plaintiff, inclusive the day of release, so the day that you receive. So let's look at, Director, let's move, so that we'll look at the release that Vincent Ekowasefua is actually seeking. So nature of release sought is as follows, and in fact, in his case, he's seeking for release. And the first one is a declaration.
Can you give us a wrap of it because of
time?
Yes.
So all that he's saying is that before the whole thing is referred to, the petitioner referred to the Council of State, the President would then have to alert the Chief Justice for her to comment, respond, And then her response would then lead to the commencing of the consultation process to allow the Council of State to take hold and then subsequently get the committee in place. And it said failure of the president to do so violate sections or provisions within the 1992 Constitution, all of that. So in brief, what Asifua is saying is that the president did not follow the right processes in tackling this particular petition, and so the Supreme Court should look at it and declare that as null and void and of no effect. So that is, in brief, that is what his action at the Supreme Court is saying. Now let's look at the one from the private citizen, Osei Owusu. So, Director, let's look at the other. Absolutely. So on your screens now is Ebenezer Osei Owusu's also action filed yesterday at 3 p.m. At the Supreme Court. And in his request, let's look at the concluding part of his request to the Supreme Court and the reliefs that he is seeking. He was seeking some... Okay, so let's pause here. In fact, his reliefs or his action is seeking some injunctions as well. So look at one of them. He said, look, an order of the court setting aside the decision of the President of the Republic of Ghana to consult with the Council of State and forwarding of 3 petitions seeking the removal of the Chief Justice Torkonoo as communicated by the spokesperson of the President of Osu Kwachi. Per his release, also to mention the dates in all of that, he said, state as being unconstitutional, null and void, and same having been made without first furnishing the Chief Justice with a copy or copies of that particular petition seeking her removal and affording her opportunity to commence it. But what is interesting in his petition or his request to the Supreme Court is this one. So you can pause there and let me go through it. You said, an order of injunction restraining the President of the Republic of Ghana from proceeding to consult with the Council of State to determine the existence or otherwise of a prima facie case against the Chief Justice of the Republic, Torkonoo, and also from consulting a committee from constituting a committee to inquire into or make recommendation on the purported petition for the removal of the Chief Justice. So that is also the crux of the case from Ebenezer Osei Owusu, a private citizen. So now at the Supreme Court, there are 2 different applications. Vincent Eko Asifua, the MP for Otafo, and the private citizen Ebenezer Owusu, Osei Owusu. So both of them, the Supreme Court will have to be dealing with all those that, in addition to the President also having a copy of the Chief Justice's request for copies. So we'll look forward to that space and look at what the response or the reactions will be. I'm sure today a lot of things will come out in relation to all the things that we are seeing about the issues regarding the Chief Justices and Chief Justice, I must say, and then the petition seeking her removal and her request for copies.
Very interesting times,
Yes,
you know, very interesting
Yes.
times. I was really hoping that yesterday would have finished closing the chapter on this.
Yes. But of course,
We'll
it is
see.
now,
We'll see how it plays
yes,
out.
Now, a lot of discussion. You've seen constitutional lawyers, everyone. In fact, everyone. So when you are reading, it's just that we do not have the time. We would have projected the reaction that have been coming, both argument for and against, in all of that. And we pick out the differences and the similarities and all of that. But it is what it is. A lot is happening, but I think that time is far gone. So we want to pause
time
here
is
and let you know
certainly
that.
gone. But yeah, for our viewers, you know, you need to stay tuned because we'll be joined by a constitutional lawyer when we're having the breakfast review. He will run us through. I'm sure that a lot of you, many people must be confused, you know, as to what is going on. There's a lot of legal conversations.
One provision
happening.
is different submission,
You know,
different arguments.
yes,
So that's why
that's
debate.
the beauty of the law,
Yeah, that's
right?
why debate is very interesting. When you are in debate for and against, and you might think that those for, when they make their first argument, I think, oh, they have a case. But wait until you hear the opposing side, and you'll be wowed by the situation. Like, wow. So if you are the referee, what stance do you take? Very difficult.
You know that there's a new case that has been introduced into the conversation. I was telling the viewers earlier, which is Derry versus Tiger Eye.
For Derry,
Yes.
I remember the
You
days
remember
when
yes,
he filed
yes.
avalanche of writs at the Supreme Court and High Court when the announced expose came. And in fact, one very interesting thing about that case is that Justice Gertrude Araba Esaba Saki Torkonoo handled most of the cases involved Justice Paul Utadere. And I see him at the court, or now he is a private legal practitioner. He comes to court, represent clients and all of that. I see him all the time. Even at this week, I saw Justice Paul Derry in court handling cases. Once upon a time, a justice of the High Court. Now, because of that, he's now a private legal practitioner.
You know, it'll be very interesting to know his thoughts on this, right? Anyway,
I surely will try and
get him.
I surely will try and get Justice Paul, because he's always at the law court complex.
All right.
He's very visible.
Okay, thank you very much, Murtala Inusa, for bringing us court today. Stay with me. After the break, my guests will join me, and we will also be joined by a constitutional lawyer. We'll get into the details of all of this, break it down further for you, so you understand it, make it more clearer for you. This is GH Today. today. I am Serwaa Amihere. It's time for the breakfast review. Well, I'm in the studio with Ibrahim Al-Hassan. He's the head of the political desk here at the EIB network. He's also the organizing secretary for the Parliamentary Press Corps. Ibrahim, good morning. Audu Mahama is the managing editor for the Custodian newspaper. Audu, good morning. How are you? All good?
Oh, we are managing.
Both of you, 2 days more to the end of the fight.
Yes. And what we told, you should be crying. You see, you should not be happy that Ramadan is ending.
Why?
It means that you were in a hurry to just dispatch it, right? If you look at the amount of blessings that you're getting, you should be crying that Ramadan is going away.
Oh, I see.
It's unfortunate that we are not crying.
Oh,
well, but I am fasting with you
the sort
today.
of crying that talk
Yes.
about is not about shedding.
I'm ready for the...
It's not about shedding tears.
I'm
It's
ready
about
for
having
the
the inner...
Ramadan.
Okay, I can see that.
Yes,
that's true.
And I'm fasting today and tomorrow.
Okay.
So I'll be expecting...
In support.
Yes, in support.
Okay.
In solidarity.
In solidarity.
Don't be surprised if on Eid Day you see this attack replicated across the country.
Yes, and even what you have done.
What I've done,
Yes.
I will be surprised.
This one, how long will it take? Or it's forever?
You should know. It's they say about 2 weeks.
It's lately.
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
I thought it's the other one.
Like a tattoo.
Yes.
No.
Oh no. No.
Because me, I don't know these things.
Oh.
Because I don't like seeing tattoos. So
It's beautiful.
if it
So
is just
like an
if it is
Amaria.
just if it is, today you look like a complete Amaria.
Amaria.
In fact,
I do.
you can be a good Amaria.
That's Amaria.
Yeah, Amihere, so a wife, don't put it that way. So, for instance, if you were to marry this weekend, today will be the day that they will put you in a room and then adorn you
Doing
with
all
these
these things. Okay.
Yeah. And then they will unveil you from tomorrow, and then Sunday you are taken to your husband.
So
Which
on the
might
day
be
you are
out.
kept in the room, you don't go anywhere. Nobody sees you.
No. You are pampered. They come to you, they adorn you. with these
They will
things,
dress you
they will
well,
dress you well.
feed you.
You are fed. It's your day.
Interesting. Anyway,
Be a good Muslim. You look a good Muslim.
Yeah.
It's your
You just get to the Maya
and everything.
I would do
With
please
Maya fee,
kill
you'll
their
be
thoughts.
perfect.
Kill their thoughts.
Oh,
Kill their thoughts. Let's move on.
let's move on.
Let's move on. Anyway, so a lot of things, have happened this week. Very topical of all of them is the petitions to remove the Chief Justice. And yes, we will be joined by a constitutional lawyer who will be breaking all of it down for us, because I know that many people are confused, because when in the run-up to the December 7, 2024 elections, there were many who said that once the NDC wins, once John Dramani Mahama becomes president, the Chief Justice should be sacked, the EC chair should be sacked, and we sat here and told you that it is not like that. It does not work like that. There are processes that needs to be, that removal goes through. And this week, yesterday, this morning, we have talked extensively about the constitutional provision on the removal of the Chief Justice, which is all contained in Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution. Well, earlier this week, the government spokesperson, Felix Kwachu, in a statement told us that the president had received 3 petitions for the removal of the Chief Justice, and same had been forwarded to the Council of State, because the president, in consultation with the Council of State, is supposed to make a prima facie determination on whether or not the Chief Justice or a committee should be set up to investigate further these allegations that has been made against the Chief Justice. Following that, we have seen Vincent Eko Asifwa, the Member of Parliament for Otafo, institute an action at the Supreme Court challenging that said consultation with the Council of States, because he says that in the principles of fairness unnatural justice, the Chief of Staff is supposed to be heard. The said petition is supposed to be forwarded to the Chief of Staff, so to speak, for her to be heard even before a determination of a prima facie case. Subsequently, another citizen has also gone to the Supreme Court, almost asking for the same things and asking in addition for an injunction stopping the president to, even in consultation with the Council of State, to establish a prima facie case. There have been many lawyers saying one thing or the other. A lot of confusion, a lot of explanation, a lot of interpretation into the Constitution, especially Article 146 of the Constitution. Interpretation into two key cases. First, it was GHOne versus the Attorney General. Now, there's an addition, which is Derry versus Tiger Eye. Once again, there's a lot of confusion on what exactly is the position of the law. I have heard many lawyers, and I will be speaking with a constitutional lawyer to share his thoughts with us, because this is purely a constitutional law issue. But here, let me pick your thoughts first of all, before we are joined on Zoom by the constitutional lawyer. And you see on your screens the writs filed by the individuals at the Supreme Court challenging, Anyway, interesting times ahead for our democracy and rule of law, isn't it? Audu?
Yes. So, good morning. Here we are this morning, but none of us is actually a lawyer. Myself and the IB, we are not lawyers. We may be street lawyers, pocket lawyers. But we are here to speak about a matter that is highly constitutional. And I'll speak from the political point of view first, before I come before I attempt to speak law. But we are discussing a matter that we are not even privy to. These are petitioners we don't know. These are issues that we don't know, the issues based upon which they are calling for removal of the Chief Justice. We don't know. We don't know the issues that will be able to look at them as to whether they merit the threshold of removing a CG.
And you are speaking politically, right?
No,
because
this one even started the politics. I am saying that we don't know. We don't know, because if I am the person who has been petitioned against, I want to see why my.
Oh, can you hold your thoughts? I want to quickly pick your microphone is not working. It's faulty. I don't know why we are having faulty microphones, but Ibrahim, yes.
So I understand Audu when he says we don't know the content, but that's the wisdom of the framers of the Constitution.
Certainly.
Once the content becomes public, that will be the defense for the Chief Justice, that the content has been made public and that she has no questions to answer anymore. GHOne Mensah used that defense very well when Oliver Barker-Vormawor and his team petitioned President Akufo-Addo for her to be removed as the chairperson of the Electoral Commission. In fact, Oliver Barker-Vormawor went ahead and display or publish the content of the petition on his Facebook page. So that became GHOne Mensah's defense. And that, if you remember, and that even when the petition was forwarded to her, some pages were missing. And so the president went ahead and dismissed that petition against GHOne Mensah. So the content is not supposed to be made public for that.
Yes. No, there's a decided case on that. Yeah. When you look at Article 146, Clause 8, the entire process for the removal of a justice of a superior court is supposed to be done in camera. In the case of Derry versus the Tiger Eye, the question of what in camera is was interpreted, and that included the entire petition to the setting up of the committee. Everything is supposed to be done in camera. So the in-camera is not just the hearing of the committee, but even the petition as well. Once you make it public, you have violated that constitutional provision.
Okay, but does it, the in-camera, does it exclude
Oh, that's a different case.
That's what you are saying is different.
Yeah.
That the petitioner, or I don't want to call it the accused person, but the one who is being petitioned against, whether or not they should receive the petition, right? That's what you're asking. That's a different. Okay, but you see, I'm not a lawyer. Then
no, it's fixed, right? I'm sure.
Has his microphone been fixed? Not yet. Okay.
Okay.
Oh, I'm sorry. Let me take a quick break.
Yeah.
Let me take a quick break. Right. You're welcome back to the show. We apologize for that. But if you just joined us, well, we haven't even started yet. We haven't gone deep. We're talking about the petitions that have been sent to the president for the removal of the Chief Justice and all the brouhaha that has happened afterwards. As it stands, there are two persons who are currently going to the Supreme Court or headed to the Supreme Court for one thing or the other, but basically stopping the president from removing the Chief Justice. Okay. IB, you were making a point, sorry, before.
Yes. So it's interesting you reference Article 146.
Yes.
I think we should read it for the purpose of this discussion.
Okay,
right?
and I asked them to put up Article 146 on the
Six
on the
to
screen.
be specific, yes.
146 clause 6, because so Article 146 is generally on the removal of the process for the removal of a justice of a superior court.
Exactly.
And it's instructive to know that a chief justice is first of all a justice of the superior court before they become a chief justice. So that's Article 146 on the screen. I'll read clause 1 and then jump to clause 6. I'll do clause 3 and then clause 6,
okay,
just to give context, right? So Article 146 clause 1 says a justice of the superior court or a chairman of a regional tribunal, we don't have tribunals anymore, shall not be removed from office except for stated misbehavior or incompetence or on good ground of inability to perform the functions of his office arising from infirmity of body or mind. 3, clause 3. If the president receives a petition for the removal of a justice of a superior court other than the chief justice, he shall refer the petition to the chief justice, who shall determine whether there is a prima facie case. That is for the removal of a justice of the superior court. Now let's jump to clause 6, where it deals with the removal of a chief justice. Where the petition is for the removal of the chief justice, the president shall, acting in consultation with the Council of State, appoint a committee consisting of 2 justices of the Supreme Court, one of whom shall be appointed chairman by the president, and 3 other persons who are not members of the Council of State, nor members of Parliament, nor lawyers. I want to add clause 8 for the purposes of this conversation. All proceedings under this article shall be held in camera, and the justice or chairman against whom the petition is made is entitled to be heard in his defense by himself or by a lawyer or other expert of his choice. These are the provisions of Article 146.
Add 9.
9. The president shall, in each case, act in accordance with the recommendations of the committee. That is to say that if the committee says the Chief Justice should be removed, the president will remove the Chief Justice. All right. I would have added 10, but let me add 10. So a wrap of 10, not to bore the viewers, is that pending or where the petition has been referred to a committee, and the committee is formed after a prima facie case has been established, the president, acting on the advice of the Council of State, may suspend the Chief Justice. And this is why, according to many lawyers, there has to be an establishment of a prima facie case, because you can't just suspend the person without an establishment of a prima facie case. IB?
Yes, and it's good where you ended, because that's why we are where we are today. Clause 10 is why we are here. The Chief Justice and the people who believe she should not go fear that once the referral has been made to the Council of State, the recommendation from the Council of State might be that establish a committee to look into this matter. And by that singular decision, the president can suspend the Chief Justice. That's it. And so the fight, the legal gymnastics, the injunctions, everything that started emanating from yesterday is because even before the guilt or otherwise of Gertrude Torkonoo is proven, the president reserved the right per clause 10 to suspend him. Her.
Right. Ivy, I want you to hold on for me because Raymond Bidema Esquire, who is a constitutional lawyer, has joined us via Zoom. I know that there are so many questions, and one of the key ones is whether or not the President and Council of State can determine a prima facie case without first hearing from the Chief Justice. Raymond, thank you very much for your time. You're welcome. This is GH Today. We apologize for waking you up this early, if you are not up already. But I think for the sake of time and not to bore our viewers on what the processes are for the removal of a Chief Justice, I'm going to go straight into my first question. I'm sorry. There's been a lot of talk on whether the President and the Council of State can determine a prima facie case without first hearing from the Chief Justice. What is the position of the law on that?
Thank you, and good morning to your cherished viewers. It is always a great pleasure to be on your show. If you look at the express provisions of the Constitution regarding the removal of Chief Justice, you look at Article 146 clause 6. On the face of that provision, there is nowhere, and I state categorically that there is nowhere where there is a mentioning of the fact that the Chief Justice should be given a hearing at the point where we are. It is only conventional that over the period, people are given, let's say, hearing in this regard, especially if I took time also to read the letter by the Chief Justice to the President, where she alluded to the fact that there were 5 petitions to her, and in her discharge of the duties, she gave the hearing to the justices of the Superior Court before the petition is heard. That is absolutely so, but we must, for the purpose of your viewers, establish that no matter how long a thing which is not law is done, does not make it a law. It does not matter how long that thing has been done. Once it is not law, it is not law. And I refer you to the standing orders of Parliament, which has been the case for a period of time where if a deputy speaker who is a member of Parliament is made to preside over a matter in Parliament, is presiding, the standing orders of Parliament is that that person is not supposed to vote. And it has been in existence for some time until in the decision in the Justice Abdullahi case, where even though that has been the act of Parliament for a long period of time, the Supreme Court held that that is not the law. Again, if you look at the decision of Eronkwe, the senior professor Eronkwe, when he was the Speaker of Parliament, you could recall at the time he declared the seat, the Fomina seat, vacant because a sitting member of Parliament actually became an independent candidate. And when Speaker Bagwin came, he followed that precedence and also did the same. And then Honorable Afenyu Markin went to court. And again, Supreme Court was minded also to state that that is actually not the law. So no matter how long a thing has been done, if it is not law, it is not law. So I am minded to state that if you look at the express provision of the Constitution, there is no mention of the fact that the Chief Justice should be given at this point in time. I believe that if a prima facie case is made against her and there is empanelment of the committee, at that stage she will be given the petition for her to respond.
So, just for clarity purposes, you mean that there is no law that demands that the Chief Justice be giving the petitions before an establishment of a prima facie case?
Absolutely, except in the case of His Lordship Paul Derry, there was a pronouncement in that case that it will be in the interest of justice and fairness for the person to be given notice of the petition. However, we need to distinguish the facts so that we'll be able to appreciate better. And here the question is, what was the plaintiff seeking in court? Was it a matter that, was it one of the issues that was before the court for determination, for which reason we can confidently as lawyers state that that is actually a ratio in that case, and for that matter, it becomes a binding precedent on all of us.
So then I'm going to ask you, lawyer, is it a binding precedent? Because I have seen, and I'm sure that you've seen many people also say that using the Derry case, Derry versus Tiger Eye, in that case, the petitions were forwarded to the judge, Derry. And so because of that, he was giving a hearing. Because of that, the same should be applied in the case of the Chief Justice. Is it binding? Is it a precedent that we must follow?
As lawyers, that some lawyers may argue in that direction. But another school of thought I wish to bring to the attention of our cherished listeners and viewers is that we have two things when a court makes a decision. We have what we call the ratio and what we call the obiter. Normally, obiter is not binding like that of the ratio. It is also important for me to appreciate the fact that even though it is not binding, because it is a pronouncement by the Supreme Court, it carries some weight. Now, if you look at the pronouncement in for his the Lordship Derry's case, I am persuaded to believe that that is an obiter instead of being a ratio, for which reason it should be binding on our courts. Because my reason is that it was not one of the issues in contention in that case. Because if you could recall, it is about justices that were implicated in the Anas expose. And so when that expose was made, they were called, or the Chief Justice actually, the petition was sent to Chief Justice, and Chief Justice actually allowed them to respond. Now, the crux of the matter in that case is whether or not the publication of their names in public actually contravenes or is frowned upon by the Constitution, specifically Article 146, Clause 8. Because in Article 146, Clause 8, we are told the Constitution enjoys the hearing to be done in camera. So the contention of the plaintiffs at the time is that their names being made public is actually an upfront to that provision. So that was actually the contention of the court. And so the pronouncement of the court with regards to the matter being brought to the attention of the the respondent is actually not one of the issues that was supposed to be pronounced by the court. And therefore, I am inclined in believing that that pronouncement is actually, to my candid opinion, an obiter rather than a ratio, for which reason it should be binding.
Very interesting. Thank you very much, lawyer. But I want you to hold on for me. Let me come to the studio and speak with my guests. I'll come back to you when there's another question for you, because we want to make sure that we break everything down and clear everything here today. IB.
Yes. So like I was saying, we are here today because of Clause 10. The fear of the people who want the Chief Justice to stay and herself is that if the Council of State agrees with the President and the President is then directed to put together a committee, the composition of the committee you mentioned, 2 justices from the Supreme Court and some other individuals. Now, the President reserves the right to suspend the Chief Justice before the final determination. In essence, the people who want, the petitioners, who want the Chief Justice out, will have been given what they want, albeit temporarily, because the Chief Justice will no longer be in office. Now, and that is what the Chief Justice herself and those who have gone to court are seeking to avoid. Now, if you look at what you read, Clause 6, it doesn't mention anywhere the involvement of the one that the petition is against, the Chief Justice. Or this one is specific to removal of a Chief Justice. It doesn't mention her anywhere. But the counter-argument is that before you determine as to whether I have questions to answer or not, how about you hear from me? And in legal parlance, you people say that the law of natural justice. The question is, at what point must that start? Must that start when the president is GHOne with the Council of State? Or it must start when the committee has been put together and the committee feels that before we make a pronouncement on you, because the committee is the only body that can make a pronouncement on the innocence or guilt of the Chief Justice, not the president, not the Council of State. In fact, I dare say that Clause 6 doesn't mention a prima facie establishment. It doesn't. It doesn't mention that the committee can only be put together when there's a cause that the allegations against the Chief Justice might have been true. It doesn't. But then again, I'm sure practice and convention will tell us that that was the same convention the former president used. President Akufo-Addo received petition against the Chief Justice. He forwarded it to the Council of State. I remember speaking to Sam Okudzeto in Parliament. For the first time, he making a comment on this development. He has said that the Council of State had been consulted. They have given President Akufo-Addo their advice. He will not disclose the advice they've given the president, but in due course, the president was going to make that public. But he believes that we cannot just allow anybody to send petitions to the president based on flimsy reasons. And we could decode exactly what the president was coming to tell us. Guess what? Days before the president left power, the former president left power, he had informed us that there was no basis for such a petition.
Right.
And for that matter, the petition had been dismissed. What we don't know of is as whether the petition was forwarded to the Chief Justice by the President Akufo-Addo administration or not. And like the lawyer said, even if it was done, it did not find expression in law. And so somebody can decide not to do it. And I'm sure that's why we are now before the Supreme Court. I find this case at the court very interesting.
Okay.
So this is the first time that we're having a Chief Justice empanel for his own colleagues to sit on her fate and determine whether she swims or drowns. It's never happened. Now, I understand why the case and this movement has been scheduled to April 2nd, right? Because we have a number of holidays and this must be dealt with as soon as practicable. There are similarities between this and what happened relative to the IGP, George Akuffo-Dampare. Remember, Imani and Professor Kwesieni equally went to court seeking to stop the president from making a determination on the status of the IGP until the final determination of the case that they have sent there. It's rich, regardless of how you look at it. Our legal jurisprudence will be improved. We as laymen can only sit and probably grab some popcorn and some drinks and watch how this plays out. But I only hope that this doesn't bring a standoff between the executive and the judiciary. We've already witnessed one between Parliament and then the judiciary, specifically the Supreme Court, with the vacancy of the 3 seats that the Speaker declared in Afeni Makin's case to the Supreme Court.
Right.
Hopefully, we don't record another standoff between the Supreme Court and then the executive. But regardless of what happens, it's a beautiful learning curve. What I'm curious of is the legal representation for Vincent Ekwo-Asifua. And unfortunately, Serwaa, what this has done is to pitch the two political parties against each other. And this is the impression many people are getting outside. So, by Godfred Dame being the lawyer to Vincent Ekwo-Asifua, many people said, okay, if that's the case, then the MPP doesn't want the Chief Justice to be removed, right? Okay, President Mahama represents the nation, all right, but he came to be president on a ticket of the NDC. So the same political tango that we didn't want and we all want to avoid is what will be playing out at the court. By dint of the fact that as the immediate past AG who is representing the team that's seeking to protect the Chief Justice. And I'm sure if the president is sued, if the state is sued, the number one lawyer for the state is the Attorney General. So we have the AG today going to face off with the immediate past AG. That promises to be interesting, right? And legal opinions are varied. I've read from Tadio Sori, I've read from Isan Kuma, I've read from many other legal brains, including lawyer we just heard who is with us today. And so even we as laymen, we have so much to learn from this. Let it play out.
Okay. I don't know if the Raymond is still on the line. Raymond, are you there?
I am here.
Okay. Let me ask you this very quickly before Audu comes in. You have, I believe, have read both cases now, which are being cited, which is GHOne versus the Attorney General, and then Derry versus Tiger Eye. For you say that it's a convention, right? That they have given hearing to the persons who have been petitioned against. At what point were these notices given? Was it before the establishment of the prima facie case? Was it before consultation with the Council of State? Because in this case, there are many who are making the argument that the president should give a hearing to the Chief Justice now before the consultation with the Council of State. So based on convention, at what point had these things been done? From the two cases that we're talking about.
Yes. If you look at it, it's similar that they were given the notice before the prima facie case was made against them. That is it. But you see,
that is for the Derry case.
Yes.
Okay.
But I want to bring something to the attention of your viewers.
Okay.
And that has to. You see, what is the natural justice thing that we are talking about, and a lot of lawyers mentioning the decision in GHOne versus the AG, which made it categorically necessary for those for the rule of natural justice not to be breached. Again, that case also gave an exception. That case gave an exception, and the exception is that if the thing that is to be done is by statute, and in our instant case, it is the Constitution. If it is by the Constitution or a statute, then it is not amenable to the natural justice principles. If you are enjoined by the Constitution to do a thing, and mind you, Serwaa, we practice what we call supremacy of the Constitution.
Right. So
there shouldn't be any doctrine that will be or the Constitution cannot be subject to any doctrine. Right? Okay. The Constitution is supreme. And in our instant case, it is the Constitution that is requiring the president to actually, as a matter of fact, present the petition to the Council of State. Right? So it is not about the natural justice. It is about what the requirement of the Constitution. It is not a discretionary powers being exercised by the president, where a lot of lawyers are also coming under Article 296. Does the president in this instant case have any discretion? And answer is no. Because he is enjoined mandatorily by the Constitution to do a thing. And what is that thing? To consult the Council of States. And so we need to appreciate, or we need to differentiate between what is enjoined by the president to do by the Constitution and when the president is actually exercising his discretionary powers. Under the present situation or circumstance, it is not a thing that the president has anything to say, I am exercising a discretionary powers. The president is enjoined by the Constitution actually to do that consultation. And that is why I am of the opinion that what the president is doing is constitutional mandate. And so the Constitution is very clear, even though in the interpretation of the Constitution, as a lot of lawyers may put it, that we do not just look at the letter of the word, but we also take into consideration the spirit. At this point, what we can see on the face of it is what the letter of the word, except where the Supreme Court make a pronouncement that we need to take into consideration the spirit, and that is where we have to give that. As it is now, the law by the Constitution is that the president should, in consultation with Council of State, and that is what president has done. And for me, at this stage, the president has done nothing wrong.
Okay. I will do. Thank you very much, Raymond. I want you to continue to stay with us.
Serwaa.
Yes.
You, in Article 1466 says that the president will have to submit the petition to the Council of State for his advice. And 14610 says that the mere submission of that to the Council of State, the president can't suspend the CJ.
Pending
what?
In fact, when the committee is set up, when the committee is set up,
yes,
during the hearing of the committee, the president, acting on the advice of the Council of State, can suspend the Chief Justice.
So the president will have to be advised by the Council of State before the CJ is suspended.
Yes.
Okay.
That is after an establishment of a prima facie case.
Okay.
Yes.
That's fair. That is fair. But you see, establishing a prima facie case sometimes is not difficult if you have a politically contrived position. Now, the grounds for which a CJ can, or a superior court,
the justice of the
superior court can be removed, and what we just saw in Article 1461, right? That misbehavior,
stated misbehavior, yes,
that has to be stated misbehavior, incompetence, and then
functions by
inability. Now, it is obvious that inability is not part of this. It is obvious that the incompetence will not hold in this matter. So what we are looking at, the petitioners may be looking at stated misbehavior. We are here talking about, we don't know the stated misbehavior. I am saying that this whole thing, this whole process of removing the attempt to remove the CJ is a politically contrived position. You remember in 2022, when President, then candidate, Mahama met a group of NDC lawyers in Ho or so, he stated at the time that the CJ who was in power was not, that there were so many problems with the judicial system, and the CJ at the time was incapable of, who was the CJ at the time, that is Eni Yabua, was incapable of making sure that the judiciary is cleansed. It was hopeful.
Which time?
Oh, 2022.
Okay, yes, okay.
2022.
Okay.
And so that the CJ then was incapable of cleansing what is wrought in the judiciary. And that the new CJ that was coming, was hoping that the new CJ will be able to do that. Now, who is the new CJ? Is Torkonoo. It appears to me, and reasonably so, that the president and his people, probably the petitioner, think that the current CJ is also acting like Eni Yabua. That is my common sense appreciation of this matter. And therefore, he must be removed. But you see, this is as IB said, in my life, I don't know, this Fourth Republic at least, I have not seen a CJ that has gone through this process before. This is the first time we are seeing it. And this is the third female CJ in the history of this country. The other CJs have gone through their process. And you remember, in the same way, the first attempt against a CJ, removal of CJ, was actually Georgina Wood. At the time, NDC had come to power again. And that process, I think we have a lawyer, professor of law, who was in charge. And I think that reasonably ensured that thing did not see the day of light. I think we should be cautious in this matter. We have come, a new government has come. It is a democracy. It is a constitutional rule. It's not a revolution. It is not a revolution. It's not a coup d'etat. The processes are going through. We are going through the processes to see that whether there has been a case or stated misbehavior against misconduct or misbehavior by this CJ. We are here to see. But I do not see. Because we do not have the facts. And even the CJ doesn't even know what her stated misbehavior is, we are here all guessing, all talking about law. I am not a lawyer. I can only see this from a political point of view. It is a desire of this new administration to see the back of the current CJ. That's how I see it. And it will set a precedent that I am looking at. If in an unlikely, I don't know, I don't want to say likely, because I believe that this petition should fail. If this petition succeeds and the CJ is suspended or is sacked, I think we will be setting a dangerous precedent for this country. And any CJ that will be appointed will not be safe under any government. Because I think, as I said, reasonably so, the former president, late Professor Atta Mills, did a good job by not letting that first petition against GHOne Wood to hold. If this one is allowed to go through and succeed, as I said, it will be dangerous for this democracy and rule of law in this country. Because all that we have been talking about the only, if anybody has a problem, politicians probably are not the people to rely on. Parliament, our parliament is certainly not an arm of government to rely on. The only last resort is always our judiciary. And if our judiciary is dragged into political game and in politics, we are going to live dangerously in this country, and we don't know what will happen. As I said, if you allow this lady to go, the new CJ that is coming, I don't know how old that CJ will stay. Any change of government may necessitate the removal of that CJ too. You see, it is very easy to find faults with people. It's very easy to find faults, flimsiest of excuses, and you want to remove somebody. How
can you call something flimsy when you don't know what the details are?
I didn't say this one. I said it's very easy to find flimsiest of excuses to do anything.
So why don't you leave that for the determination?
I am saying that it will be very dangerous, and I'm looking at the panel, the constitution of the committee, and it includes Supreme Court judges.
Two of them.
Two Supreme Court judges. I will want to see, after their findings, what their view will be on this matter, and whether any of them will be a potential CJ after Torkonoo. I would like to see that. Those who will be part of this panel to determine on their colleague, to decide on their colleague, whether they will be potential CJs, and therefore their view may go against the current CJ. I want to see. We are in this country. We'll see when we say that, unfortunately, everything is said to be, will be in camera, and we'll only get to know after the findings. And that's the findings that we'll interrogate. And we'll get to know the people, the CJs, the Supreme Court judges who will be part of it. And what they decide will be very rich in moving forward. But I see this whole game to be a political exercise, because this has been predetermined even before the election.
Okay, but we don't know. We still do not know what the contents of that petition is. We do not know whether an actual,
that is why I say if it succeeds, it means that it has fallen in line with the politically contrived this imposition I've been talking about.
But what if,
and I hope it doesn't succeed.
Lenses off?
I hope it doesn't.
And actually believe that there's an actual problem for which reason these petitions are out there.
If it is an actual problem, if there's a stated misbehavior, and it is very palpably clear, it is palpable, everybody will fall in line. But if it is seen to be something we must get here at all costs, it is something for well-meaning Ghanaians, right-thinking Ghanaians to decide, determine whether we are in a banana republic or we are actually in a democracy. But as I said, I hope this does not succeed. If it succeeds, it will set dangerous precedent for this country, and we don't want to encounter what will befall us. And look, there will not be any stability at all in our judiciary if it happens. So I pray.
If it happens that she's removed.
She's removed.
But what if there are good grounds for that?
If there are good grounds, and you see, Because these grounds that we are, if they are good, if it is hypothetical.
Yeah, but that's
I am
why
also
there's
speaking
going to be-
hypothetically.
That is why there's going to be an establishment of a prima facie.
But that is even
If
the
there
reason
is-
why. That is even the reason why I do not see why a disclosure of the petition should make this whole petition null and void. I do not see it that way, because the basis for which the previous one against Charlotte Jean Mensah was thrown away, I do not see it to be a basis. I don't know what kind of law is that. Somebody has stated that a person who is being petitioned against has misconducted herself, and that is disclosed. If it is disclosed, let's interrogate the matters as to whether those are actually reasons for her removal.
It should be disclosed? It should be made public.
Made public.
Yeah, but it's.
But that is the law I'm talking about. Why will it not for us to integrate those matters? If it is made public, it should not necessarily lead to the dismissal of the petition.
Well,
because they will have to look at the merit.
Okay, finish.
They have to look at the merits of the petition, rather than saying that the mere disclosure of it should vitiate whatever the petitioner wants. I do not think it is. This your law is actually. I don't know. I'm fasting.
Okay. But you know what? Let me go back to Raymond, because I do not think that, because I know that there's a decision that a disclosure of the petition does not invalidate the petition. But let me just double check, because but it also does not mean that. It also does not mean that once a petition is received, you need to make it public. Raymond, please, are you there?
Why shouldn't he?
I am here.
Okay, I don't know if you got my question, but my colleague here is saying that what was your point?
I am saying that why should a petition sent to the president not be public?
Okay, once a petition has been made public, it should not invalidate the said petition. And I thought that I had come across a decision in one of these two cases we're talking about, that yes, even though it's supposed to be not disclosed, a disclosure of it does not invalidate the petition. Is it correct?
That is correct.
Okay, so that was a decision in what case?
Even though it is in breach of the provisions of the Constitution, it does not nullify the decision that will be taken.
Okay, so thank you for that.
But however, let me add this.
Okay.
Let me add this. So the truth is that even if I was in the shoes of the Chief Justice, I would have requested for the petition, because in my understanding, I would have loved to know why somebody is going to the presidency for my removal, so that at any time when I am called upon, I may be able to give a good defense of myself. And in the case of in the Paul Derry case, even there was an admonishment that it is good and it will serve the interest of fairness and justice for the person to be given the petition at this point. You see, so on the face of it, ordinarily everyone would think it is good, and even me myself, and I wouldn't be surprised even if the Supreme Court come to this conclusion in the near future, because in the interpretation of the Constitution, you take both the letter and the spirit of the law. But as it stands now, it is not about what I think in the interest of justice or what I think will be good for me. It is what the law says. And that is why we are saying exactly what the provision of the 1992 Constitution states. And that it should be just in consultation and not necessarily giving the justice, the CJ, the notice of the petition. I would have ordinarily felt that it should have been given. But what is the law saying? Is that what the law is asking? And the answer is no. So I wouldn't also be surprised in the near future if the Supreme Court comes to that conclusion that the CJ should be given, because it is sound and it will feel good for any one of us. Even if you, Serwaa, if you are in this situation, you would have loved that, you would have had the benefit of what they are seeking, why they are seeking to remove you. But that is actually not the law.
Okay, but finally, before I let you go, so we can continue in the studio, what do you make of the processes that have been filed so far on this matter?
As a lawyer and a student of the law, I can say that it is within their constitutional mandate to go to court. If they feel something is, or if they are aggrieved of something, it is their right. So that no one can fault them. We will only be waiting patiently to the determination of the matters in court, before the court, so it also become law. So the pronouncement of those matters will actually enhance our laws going forward.
Okay, let me also ask you this. I'm sure that you have seen comparisons being made with that of the Charlotte Osei case, where she, at her time as EC chair, when there was a petition, requested to see what the petition was, but it was disregarded. Are they the same? Because I've also seen people make the argument that don't compare the two because they are not the same.
Well, I don't think in Charlotte Osei case they were coming under Article 146.
Right.
And so we may not be able to compare apples and grapes. Because if it is the provision of the Constitution that we are coming under, we need to comply strictly by that provision. And in this instance case, it is under Article 146 of the 1992 Constitution.
Thank you very much, Lawyer Raymond, for joining us and sharing your insights and thoughts with us. We are very much grateful. He's a constitutional lawyer.
So before he goes, I would have wished if you can quickly find out from him if the processes that have been filed should stop the president from proceeding on any...
Okay, I think, Raymond, are you there?
I'm still here.
Oh,
okay,
great,
so, my boss asked the question that whether these processes should just stop the president or maybe put a hold on moving further or going ahead with the said consultation with the Council of State.
I don't think so. I don't think so, because there is a school of thought that a president cannot be injuncted. And in this circumstance, even they are not seeking injunction at this stage. I don't know if one of the reliefs is to injunct the president, but as it stands now, there's nothing like injunction.
The second case by the private citizen, Ebenezer Wusu, is sure about the name. He is seeking an injunction. The third relief is an injunction restraining the president or stopping him from going further with that consultation to even establish the prima facie case.
Absolutely. For me, where I sit and taking into consideration the law, I don't think that will be able to stop the president from exercising his administrative duties under the Constitution. Then it means that one day if somebody also goes to court and say that the president should not give certain money which is allowable under the Constitution, then that thing should also stop until the determination of the matter. I believe strongly that because it is the constitutional mandate of the president, he must continue to do his mandate as such.
Thank you very much for speaking with us. Is there any more question you have for Raymond Bidima? Okay, thank you. Raymond Bidima Esquire is a private legal practitioner and a constitutional lawyer. Yes. Here in the studio, I'm with Ibrahim Al-Hassan Audu Mahama. Let's move on quickly so that we wrap up this one and talk about other things here.
Yes, Serwaa, the reason why I'm saying that I am interested in seeing the recommendation of the committee and what the views of the members will be is that if you look at the Article 146.6 and the 146.10, I have a bit of a problem with these two clauses. That one, you are referring the matter to the Council of State, and Council of State would then determine. Now, the Council of State, is it Council of State that should determine a prima facie case, right?
In consultation with the president.
Now, we all know what the way Council of State operates. We all know Council of State invariably goes with the president, and therefore, if they decide that there's a prima facie case, it means automatically the Article 146.10 kicks in.
No, it is not automatic.
Why?
It is. Can we have the provisions of Article 146 again?
Consulting.
And mind you,
that is what I'm saying. The Council of State and the President, they are two in one.
But I would do per the provisions of the, and I'm sure that by now
this is your strict adherence to strict law.
Yeah, but that's what the law says.
Politically, we're also talking of political law.
The thing is no more political.
It is now political. What is happening is political.
What's political law?
Oh, but I'm saying that don't have this in political economy. We also have political law.
But Audu, listen.
I am
These are the
saying
provisions.
that
Hold on,
you
hold
read
on,
the
please.
provision again.
Yes,
Read
I
the
will
article,
read it.
yeah.
I will read
14610.
it. But let me also make it known to our viewers that the fact that a prima facie case has been established
Yes.
does not automatically mean that the committee that will be set up will find the Chief Justice guilty.
Yeah.
No, but in the meantime, the Chief Justice may be
Please
suspended.
call up to 10.
In the
Please
meantime,
call up to
and
clause
I'm saying
10.
that if the president is desirous of suspending the CJ, it is automatic.
Yeah, but you so hold on. Where a
And
petition,
we know the
please
history
let me
of-
read clause
okay,
10.
you read it.
Article 146, clause 10.
Yes.
Where a petition has been referred to a committee under this article,
Yes.
the president may.
Uh-huh.
Do you understand may?
Oh.
May does not be, hold on. When I say do you understand
And
may,
that
I
is
am
even
not
the may-
questioning you.
Okay.
May does not make it mandatory.
Yes. In
The
fact-
president may, in the case of the Chief
Discretionary.
Justice,
Yeah.
acting in accordance with the advice of the Council of State,
Yes.
by warrant signed by him, suspend the Chief Justice. But you said it is automatic.
I
It
am
is
not
not
automatic. Oh, you listen to me carefully. I am saying that it is automatic that the Council of State and President are 2 in 1. That is automatic.
Okay.
They will agree. In all cases in this country, I have lived enough to know what this Council of State is, at least in this constitution.
That's fair.
That
but
is fair.
it is not
And I'm
automatic
saying
that once a
That is
committee
why
has
I'm
been
saying that
formed,
I
the
hope-
president will suspend the Chief Justice.
That's
That
why
is
I'm
not automatic.
Okay, it is not automatic, but
Yes.
it's discretionary. And I say that I hope that doesn't happen. If it happens, then it falls into that political conspiracy that I spoke about. I hope it doesn't happen. And it's good to be good news and good for this country if it doesn't happen. But if it happens, it falls into the political conspiracy and contrived position that I spoke about. And I genuinely hope that it doesn't happen. Because I know, look, we all, unless we are pretending, our Council of State and Presidency are always 2 in 1. It is one, it's the same. Whatever the president wants to do, the Council of State will never say never. It's a reality. It is
All
something
right.
that if we may deny, but that's a reality. And I'm saying that if the president chooses that he will use the discretionary powers of suspending the CJ, the Council of State will give him that advice. And I
Okay,
hope he does that.
Ivy,
There's a-
I'll let you have your final bite on that so that we can talk about other things.
Yeah, briefly. There's a reason why the Council of State is constituted the way it's constituted.
Right.
There's a provision for a former Chief Justice to be a member of the Council of State. We have a former Chief Justice there, Madam Sophia Kufu.
Yes.
And I've seen the conspiracies already, right? But see, there's one thing you cannot take away from the woman, and that's her convictions and her principles.
Yes.
If she feels
Yes.
that there is no genuine reason
She
to
alone.
I'm coming to proceed with this.
Yes.
And she makes it abundantly clear because I think many of the other members might defer to her knowledge and her experience
Yes.
because this is law.
It's law, yes.
It's not selling in the market,
yes,
right?
Yes.
And if
In
she-
fact, there are lawyers on the
exactly, if she makes that abundantly clear and others agree on legal basis and they vote,
Yes.
because sometimes it might come to voting,
Yes.
right? Trust the woman to come public. She can.
She will, but
Exactly.
to what end?
Oh no, get me right. So the point you are talking about making about rubber stamp, maybe we've known that with former members of Council of State, but we expect something
One
different
person,
from this one.
if one
I'm telling you,
person
one person can make a difference. I'm
Yes,
telling you,
but
this.
one person can speak, but
we've
cannot
never,
change.
we've never had dissent in public from a Council of State ever.
But you
since
think that this
1992.
may happen if
I'm
she
telling you
truly-
that it may happen. So let's give the Council of State a benefit of the doubt. You see, we are all moving forward on the premise that there's nothing damaging about these petitions. We are assuming that the Chief Justice has done nothing wrong.
Right.
And
No,
we
let's
are-
also assume that there might be something against her.
that's the point I'm making.
Okay.
So if we don't assume that and assume both ways,
Yes.
assume that she's innocent and assume that she can equally be guilty,
Yes.
we then will be prejudging the Council of State unnecessarily and in a very wrongful way.
You see?
You get it?
You
We then will be giving a dog a bad name
Yes.
and we end up hanging it.
Yes.
So for now,
I
let's
agree.
maintain an open mind.
That is why I think that, and the lawyer agreed with me that disclosure of the petition, even though
He said
it may
it
be
goes
against
against the
law,
Constitution.
against the law, does not vitiate,
No, it does not nullify.
nullify. No, vitiation is.
But why do you want to go against the law?
Which law? I am saying that there's a problem with that law.
Okay, then amend the law.
Yes, that's why I
So
think
go
that
to court.
the constitution. No, this committee should look at that law.
Which
Constitution Review
committee?
Committee.
Okay,
They
so
should
you
look at. They
write
should
to
look
them
at that.
then.
Yeah.
They should look. Oh, but they are listening to me.
Okay.
I am saying that there's a problem with it. I do not see why I have been petitioned against, and I have no right to see that what is in that petition before I appear before a committee. I do not see why.
Yeah, I think even that we are jumping ahead of ourselves. See, so I honestly don't believe, and that's my final take on this.
Yes.
Okay.
That in the consultation process,
Yes.
the Council of State would not wish to hear from the woman.
Right.
I'm telling you.
Right.
Before a case is determined.
Yes, before
A
a committee is
final
even set up. I'm telling you.
So you think we're jumping the gun?
I'm sure even she herself
Because we have not
is.
seen
And
this
unfortunately,
process
given
before.
the letter she has written,
Yes.
you see, it might muddy the waters.
Okay.
It might muddy the waters.
It might.
Yes.
Okay. Let's
Yeah.
hope so. Because it will be in the interest of every Ghanaian that if anybody is accused, you should know what you are being accused of before you appear before any committee or any panel.
Okay.
That is why in any institution, if you are being suspended, you are told your offense. You know what your offense is before you are suspended. And in this case,
When you are told your offense, did they hear your side of the story before they suspend you?
no, but you at least know.
But you want her side to be heard before she's suspended.
No, I'm saying that she should know. At least she's asking to know why. Even at least let me know my accusers.
Let's just know. She wants to respond.
Eh?
Read her letter.
In her letter,
Yes,
she
wants
wants
to
to know
Why?
and respond.
Why? But
Apply the same institution. Okay, what?
I let her know and also respond. But why?
But
Does
when
it-
you in your institution or organization
Yes.
commit an offense
Yes.
or allegedly,
Yes.
and you are suspended without your side being heard, that's fair.
No.
Is that
you
not
know,
a breach?
you know
Is
your
that not
offense.
a breach?
Yeah,
You know your offense.
allegation.
You know your allegation. It's like you are committed a crime. They will tell you that you are being charged for A, B, C, D,
And suspended.
and you are suspended
But that's not
before
fair.
you are.
Per your argument.
That is a problem I have. That is a problem. If it comes out that the offense you are accusing me of is flimsy,
You have suspended me for nothing.
you are suspending me for nothing. And probably those who have been suspended over these matters should be charging the state for some cash.
Well, but there will be a committee that will be set up, and you will be.
I am
called
saying that
to-
you will be
to-
called to. If you have suspended me, maybe some they say you are interdicted.
Yes, interdicted.
Interdicted is different from suspension.
Yes.
Now, interdiction, I may be getting something.
Yeah.
But that is not all. So at the end of it, I should be giving, if it's found out that I am not guilty, I should be giving my full entitlement, even giving some interest for.
So why is the conspiracies? The conspiracies
Well,
are that
exactly,
the chief
but
justice
you
might be
know-
suspended, and then she will remain suspended
Exactly.
Until-
These look, and we are in a political season
move
that
on.
all these conspiracies are actually-
Let's move on. Well,
grounded.
you know that you also
And-
said
and
that
I-
Chief Justice GHOne Wood was the first person that there was a petition to
Yes.
remove her. No, that's
I
not the
mentioned
case.
that.
No, that's
No,
not the
I
case.
said lady. No, we had Aqua Justice
Yes,
Aqua.
that was
no.
what the GHOne case
Justice,
was
I'm
in
talking of a
relation-
lady.
Okay.
No, talking about, we brought in Mills and said because Mills was a lawyer.
Yes, but
he
I
didn't
said
act
she
upon
was the first
okay.
female CJ, and that a petition was brought
But
against.
what has her
the
gender
female
got to do
law,
with
the
it?
Gender.
petition.
No, this is a government that is talking about.
Oh,
30
come on.
No, I am
Don't
not
do that.
saying that if a CJ has done something wrong, should not be removed.
So
though.
what's your point?
My point is that
Don't play the
let's
gender
be fair.
card, please. I will not allow you to play
Oh,
the
but
gender
if you are a gender, I shouldn't pay what? I am also I did gender studies at school.
I'm just saying
I
that
am also
I will not allow you to play
I
the
am a
gender
man,
card.
but also a feminist.
Okay.
Okay, so as a feminist, even when if there is a wrongdoing,
Yes.
you will still want.
No, if there's
the
a
person
wrongdoing,
to be
no,
wrong.
I will not support any wrongdoer in my
So why
life.
don't you leave that for the committee?
No,
to
but it should be
determine?
fair to the accuser and the accused.
You already know they will not be fair.
Oh, I am saying that they should be fair. I'm not saying I know they will not be fair. I
You
am
are
saying that they
urging
should
them
be
to
fair.
be
I'm
fair.
urging them to be fair.
Okay.
And I'm saying that they should not fall in line in my thought processes that this may be a politically contrived position being taken.
But you know,
if-
regardless of the outcome, politics will be read into this. But that should not stop governance.
I agree,
Governance
and the rule of
governance
law.
will hand, but we will be setting a precedent that may come to hand.
So, and that's what I don't get you. If there's an offense in your quest to save or not set a certain precedent,
You
should we
see-
allow it to go?
You see, this
Why don't you allow? Hold on.
stated misbehavior
Yeah.
must be grounded in law, punishment probable by law. That there might be punishment that is prescribed
But the punishment prescribed is what has been set out in Article 146.
Oh no, but that's not part. It's a process.
This is not a criminal.
Yes, it's a removal. But but you
trial.
Was Charlotte say prosecuted?
No, I'm not talking about prosecution.
Even though we were told that she had engaged in procurement breaches.
He wants to quote Article 19. That's before something is a crime. Hold on. You want to quote Article 19. Before if an offence is a crime, it must be prescribed by law. And the punishment, punishment for it is prescribed.
Yes. When you say state term,
the same.
When you say state term misbehavior, what does it mean?
Oh. Is it a criminal prosecution?
It can be abuse of office. It can be anything.
That is why that one can be discretionary. I am telling you, look, you people are joking with this law. Because if you say state term misbehavior, and it is that it can be abuse of office. What is this abuse about?
So why don't
if you say that maybe I have transferred a judge.
Why don't you let the committee decide that? You see. There are going to be 2 Supreme Court judges on that committee.
I should not be allowed to express my opinion.
Can I speak? Can I please land? Yes. If it gets to the point where a committee has to be set up, there are going to be 2 Supreme Court judges on that committee.
On that
and you don't think that they will be fair?
At what they will be. I said it here. I'll be keenly watching on the
He's looking at the composition.
I'll be looking at what the opinion of these two Supreme Court judges.
Well, I don't know
and as to whether if this CJ is removed from office, one of them will be a potential CJ.
And what's wrong with that? If there's one, oh Lord, have mercy.
Let's move on.
Anyway, let's move on. So, I am interested.
You see, you mentioned Charlotte's case.
I'm looking forward to what's going to happen in the next coming days because, as to whether these applications that are being instituted or filed at the Supreme Court will be heard before. There's a determination of whether there's a prima facie case or not, because remember, it is the same Chief Justice who is going to empanel the court. Exactly. And this is a constitutionally mandated job. It does not matter whether it is her case that is to be determined or not. There are decided cases on this.
No, I'm coming. You mean this one?
Yes.
That's a job.
It's her job. Anyway.
That's the problem again with the Constitution.
I also don't envy the panel members. I don't envy the panel.
That's the problem again with the Constitution. Serwaa.
All right, I need to take a break. When we come back, we can successfully move on from this topic and talk about other matters. Thank you. We have concluded. You're welcome back to the show. This is GH Today. I am Serwaa Amihere. We'll do our very final topic so we can wrap up. We have lots of things. We got carried away with the legal conversations. But I'm here with Audu Mahama. He's the managing editor for the Custodian newspaper. Ibrahim Al-Hassan is the head of the political desk for the EIB network, the producer of the show as well. All right. So this week, on Monday, the Attorney General held a press conference, gave an update on some of the oral cases that he has been investigating. Now, over the weekend, we got to notice that a former NSB official director had been arrested when he disembarked from an aircraft which had just landed. And his wife was also arrested in connection with allegations of corruption and diversion of funds. Afterwards, we have seen details, public documents of properties allegedly belonging to him, which many have questioned its source. We also were told that Peter Mewu was arrested and later given bail in relation to the SkyTrain issue. We've also been told that some persons in the National Service scandal have also been questioned. Some have started singing, in the words of the Attorney General. But the major focus was on that of the former NSB boss, for which reason today the Attorney General is going to court with lawyers of the former NSB director, because the lawyers for the former NSB director is accusing the AG and government of setting the bail condition too high, 200 million for both the man and the wife. So for the man is at 120 million and for the woman 80 million. And they say that these bail conditions are too harsh, and so they've headed to the High Court. And this matter will be heard today. Our colleague Mutalai Nusa is already headed to court and will be bringing us an update on that. But very, very shocking revelation on the property allegedly owned by this man, for which many believe was procured by state funds.
Which many? I don't know. It's the AG. We are talking based on what AG is telling us. I do not know how.
Yeah, but when the AG put up that information, I said many believe there's social media. Don't you? You are an editor.
Yeah. You mean after the AG's? Yes. Not before, right?
After.
It couldn't have been before.
Okay.
Because before we didn't know about it.
I don't even know the man.
Exactly.
Are we on?
Yes, go ahead.
So, before I didn't even know the man.
Now you
recently,
know him.
Why I started reading things about him. Apparently, he has been at the place for since 2007 or so, was 2006. He's risen to do the ranks to that level. I see, I do not have any problem at all with the state prosecuting anybody who has taken state resources, planned state resources. I do not have any problem at all with that. If anybody has been trusted power and the person uses our power to take our money illegally, I think that person should be prosecuted, and if found guilty, punished. But see, I have a whole problem with the way the Attorney General handled the press conference.
Why?
I have this thing. Look, I think that in that press conference, he virtually found the man guilty.
Why do you say that?
Because he said what he has found would definitely put the man in prison, in jail.
What did you expect him to say?
Oh.
Is that not what he's supposed to be doing?
He's supposed to
gathering
do that.
Evidence that he believes will secure a conviction?
Okay. Then that's fine. The man, he has decided that the man will definitely go to jail. But if he goes to court and something to the contrary happens, what do you think Ghanaians will be saying? Well,
at least we will all see that he has done his bit, but you don't expect the Attorney General to come and tell you that the evidence he has will not be successful at securing a conviction.
The matter, as AG, if you go to court, what you want to do is to succeed.
So why are you surprised?
I am saying that I have also listened to many AGs where they are asked about this matter, said, I have found my case. I think that I will succeed. And it is for the judge, the court to determine.
But the AG has also said that they received many complaints with regards to the oral cases. They are confidently talking. Hold on, I'm making a point. Can you allow me to land? They are confidently talking about these cases because they have gathered sufficient evidence.
And
Do you get the difference?
And yet they are not yet in court. They've not been charged. Mind you, you see, you have gathered so much evidence that you can hold a press conference and tell Ghanaians, and yet you have not been able to charge the person in court to take him to court for him to answer for those charges. Why? Is it the court that is more important or the press conference? Because if you have evidence against a suspect, mind you, the man is still a suspect. He's not even an accused person. He's not been charged, so he's a suspect. If you have so much evidence against somebody, you think that you can succeed in court. The first thing you do is to hold a press conference and tell us that you have evidence.
You don't want to know what's happening?
No, but if you go to court, you think I will not know. What I want is for you to charge the person. Why? Would the press conference take the money from...
It will not, but it will keep you informed.
Serwaa.
This is a government...
So if he goes to court with the charges, I will not be informed.
This is a party...
I have always told people not to play devil's advocate. One day you'll be a devil, though. If you continue to play devil's advocate, you will be a devil yourself one day. I am saying that this is a CJ who is supposed to prosecute. It's not a CJ for press conferences.
You mean AG?
AG, sorry.
Okay,
this
so
is an AG who is supposed... If you have found enough evidence against somebody, the first place for me, in my non-legal opinion, is for you to go to court and charge the person and take our money. You say you succeed. Take our money for us.
I'll do, but you have been a practicing journalist for many years.
Yes.
In the spirit of accountability and letting the Ghanaian people know. Remember that oral was a flagship promise by this.
But it's not even part of oral.
It is.
It
is embedded in it. Operation Recover or Loot. It is a big umbrella.
Case is a part of the oral.
That's not what oral is a manifesto promise. We're not talking about oral. She's not talking about oral committee report too. She's talking about oral as promised in opposition by the NDC.
I agree. That is Operation
Recover or Loot.
And that is why we had this argument.
And so that is why it may be imperative for the AG or the AG's department to let us know of the cases that they are working on so far. Don't you agree?
I agree with that they are working on. But the most important thing for AG to do as a chief legal advisor and chief legal counsel for this state, for me, is for him to drag the man to court. Okay. For him to answer those charges as he has told the press conference about. Drag the man to court for him to answer those charges. Look, you all know that facts, plethora of facts, are not evidence in court. You may have facts, but that may not constitute evidence in court. You know that, Serwaa, as a law student. You may have all the facts, but you may have all the facts. You may have all the facts. I'm not a lawyer. You may have all the facts, but the facts may not be evidence in court. That's why I'm saying it is very important that when you have a case against somebody, you feel that you can secure conviction, especially when you are Attorney General, go to court and charge the person. Look, I am waiting for the man to be charged. And if necessary, if he has stolen our money, let's get that money. Look, this country, we need a lot of money. They are saying that they are alleging that the man has misappropriated or embezzled or transferred some $7 million into his personal account. You know how much that money, what that money can do.
Thank you very much.
So, Serwaa, he should just proceed. He's my senior brother. If I meet him in Parliament, I'll tell him that, look, I will be waiting. I'll be asking him when.
Thank you very much. Let me come to IB now. IB, you are in Parliament. Yes, I want to ask you this directly. The minority leader has said publicly that there appears to be harassment of members of the old government, and
one beside me, wait.
Oh, but it's the same.
And that's the arrest of Charles Edubuahin. That's his name, right?
Yes.
Is it that's not Charles.
No, it's Kwabena
Edubuahin.
And he's not even related to Professor Edubuahin.
No,
he's not.
Okay,
because I saw that on social media as well. All right, thank you. What do you make of that?
Part of the
plots to harass
former appointees, right? Yes, the argument has been made. It has been made forcefully. The Attorney General has been accused of engaging in media trial, right, of suspects. Audu is refusing to take cognizance of the fact that Dominic Ayeni, doctor,
Yes, he's a
is
politician.
Attorney General and Minister for Justice. For you to be a minister, you must be appointed by the president. The president has appointed
So he's a politician.
politicians to occupy office. So expect the Attorney General and Minister of Justice to talk a bit of law here
A bit of
and
politics.
do a bit of politics here.
Oh, I'm not
Now,
oblivious.
let's assume that
He mentioned
Dominic
my name.
Ayeni, let's assume that Dominic Ayeni had gone to court and the charge sheet had become public. It's the same.
Yeah.
It's the
You
same.
prefer that?
Why not? But that's why
You
I
prefer a
prefer.
public charge sheet?
But the charge sheet will not be private.
Because, no, yeah, that's the point.
Have you seen a
that's
charge
why,
sheet being
that's
private?
why
No.
many people don't find anything wrong with what happened.
Right.
That you say you don't prosecute people in secrecy.
Oh, so
You-
why don't you proceed to court first
coming.
if you have the
I'm coming.
evidence?
I have an answer
Why
for you,
would
because
you
he
want to
actually
have press
answered it.
conference?
Audu, when you were
I have an
speaking,
answer
he was
for you.
very quiet.
Yes,
you know.
because
mentioned
he
my
answered
name.
it.
Is that
No,
I'm
I
refusing
related to
to-
what you had said. I related to
Is
what
that
you
I'm
had said.
refusing to?
No, I related to what you had said. So Dominic Ayeni mentioned that day, in fact, there was a Wednesday that they were ready to go to court. Right? He mentioned that there was a day that they were ready to go to court. Then they had new
Evidence.
information. They had new information. And he had mentioned that there were many others whose names had not even been put out. And that they are seeking to make some of them witnesses for the state.
So
Right? In prosecuting
the
this case.
investigation not concluded.
So I'm just happy that the two suspects have gone to court to say that our freedom is being curtailed. The bar set for us to meet before we could be granted bail is too high. We cannot meet it. Let's leave that to the courts to determine. The point I'm making is that the politicians who served and those who are serving today, I'm surprised you people are surprised that once you occupy a political office, when your party leaves power, this is the same routine you go through.
Yeah. But
Those serving today, and Dominic Ayeni mentioned it, that he will not even wait for NDC to leave power before you go through this routine. Right?
Okay.
He will come for you. Easier said than done. But let's see if he's able to do it.
It will
You
not be
ask
done.
what
It will
this
not be
public
done.
display will do.
Yes.
At least it will send the fear of God into some people. And it should. Right?
has it ever been?
Oh, it should. The point I'm making is that it should send the fear of God into some people. When you are chosen to serve us, it's a privilege. Serve us. Don't pilfer.
But do you know that you say fear of God? Do you know that the
And
Israeli
can you
company?
please allow him to
no,
finish?
he has given me the.
All right, thank you very much.
Serwaa.
I'll give you 30 seconds. Hurry up, I need to go.
Do you know? You are saying that it will put some fear in people.
Yes, it
If
should.
it is true that he has done what he's done, it is an Israeli company that was engaged in this.
Yes.
It's the same Israeli company, not the same. I don't know. Another Israeli company probably that the NCA, those who were jailed.
I get that.
The same thing. You think that if it was a learning curve
At
for
least
this,
now
you
we
would not
have
have
two.
learned.
So that should serve as a warning.
All right, thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show. It's
As for
been
the
very
bill,
nice.
Yes. As for the bill,
having-
as for
yes.
the bill, as for the bill, it will depend on how much the state he owes the state. If-
Allegedly.
They say
allegedly
it's a flight
owes the
risk.
state.
It's a high flight risk, and that's the problem. That if they leave him, he will run away. That's the argument of
But
the
I don't even know why. Because is he because he's an appointee of President Akufo-Addo?
No.
Why would minority be?
Well,
taking
we
him
don't
out?
know, but
Because
at
this
least
man, I
we
don't
have
know him
seen,
to be an
we have
NPP
seen
person.
documents
Oh, no, he was a
where
member of the
he was a member of the
Manifesto Committee.
Manifesto
Committee on Security.
On security.
Yes.
Okay. I see. Me, I didn't know him really. I didn't actually know
Okay.
him.
Thank you very much, Audu
It's good
Mahama,
he
for
didn't.
coming
Your
on
name will
the
have been
show.
bad.
Why would I? Why?
No, it's good he didn't know him.
Audu is the managing editor for the Custodian newspaper. Ibrahim Al Hassan is the producer for GH today, and also he is also the organizing secretary for the Parliamentary Press Corps and the head of the political desk here at EIB Network. Thank you, gentlemen, for coming on the show. Stay with me. There's much more after the break. Let's have a conversation on agriculture. I'm joined in the studio by members of the General Agricultural Workers Union and also UniAgis. Bertha Anamlebna is with UniAgis, and Dr. Pascal Ajongba Kaba is Deputy General Secretary for the General Agricultural Workers Union of TUC. You're both welcome to the show. What's UniAgis? Bertha.
Okay, so UniAgis is Union for Education and General Services Workers, as well as Agriculture.
Right.
So that's what we have shortened as UniAgis.
Okay, what kind of people make up UniAgis?
Okay, so agriculture workers, general services workers, and then aviation workers as well.
Oh, right. So it's not just about agriculture. So GHOne is under UniAgis?
No.
No.
UniAgis is a union that also do agriculture work. GHOne is with the TUC. So
Okay.
UniAgis of the Ghana Federation
of Labor.
Right. Okay. What kind of people make up GHOne then?
Yes. So GHOne is made up of those who work within the agriculture value chain.
Okay.
Both the workers and the farmers. So, for instance, the workers, we have people like people who work with Ghana Cocoa Board. We have people who work with the Crop Research Institute. We have people who work in the oil palm plantations. And then we have cocoa farmers. We have peasant farmers. We have aquaculture. All these people are part of GHOne.
Okay. Now, let me rephrase my introduction. So we're not talking about agriculture. We're talking about trade unions, right? Unions
Exactly.
generally, and the benefits of joining them, because I thought that it was just about General Agricultural Workers Union. So what are unions, Bertha?
Pascal first, because
Okay,
he's my
Mr.
boss.
He's your boss, huh?
Yeah.
Doc, what are unions and what are the benefits of joining unions?
Yes, so basically, unions basically serve as your first-hand lawyer in terms of employment. That's what unions do. We serve as your first-hand lawyer in terms of employment. And so, basically, one of the major reasons why people need to join unions is the fact that we believe in what we call the decent work agenda. And the core principles of the decent work agenda has to do with the fact that, first and foremost, there must be employment for workers to exist. And so that is sustainability. And so job creation is key to us.
Avenue where you can have solidarity, because trade unions are more about solidarity. And so if you're a worker and at the workplace you are confronted with grievances or your conditions of service are not improving, being in a union is a way to get all those things fixed. So for me, that's what a union is about team and solidarity.
Let's talk about collective bargaining, Doc. What is collective bargaining?
Yeah, we want to talk about collective bargaining. You see, the employer has a certain budget that the employer does at the beginning of the year.
Okay.
Now you, the worker, also have certain privileges and certain demands you are making on the employer when the year is about to begin. So collective bargaining now has to do, the two of you sit behind the table and decide, these are my demands. The employer also looks at in terms of what is my budget, in terms of what I can afford, what can't I afford. So the two of you then sit, and when you agree, for instance, within collective bargaining is where, for instance, we have issues of, let's say, maternity leave. Within collective bargaining is where we have issues, let's say, leave. How many days do you think is enough for you to rest? Within collective bargaining is where we also talk about how much should you be paid every month.
Right.
Yeah. So these are the collective bargaining just deals about you sitting behind the table with your employer to
And
discuss
having some sort of
discussion to
agreement.
agree. And that's
Right.
that's what collective bargaining is all about.
More like your conditions of service.
Okay.
So it has to do with your benefits, medicals, grievance procedure, how it's supposed to be done when workers are found in malpractices. So it lays down all the foundations that sort of governs the entire institution as well as workers, because after a collective bargaining agreement is signed, it means that it's binding both worker and
the
employer.
Okay.
Yes, that's what it
But
is.
we have heard stories where people have been unhappy with the positions that their, representatives have taken, union leaders have taken. For instance, in this new minimum, the 10% increments in base pay, we heard that some of your members were not happy because they were not there, their voices could not be heard. Is it always the case that you're happy with what your leaders represent you for?
Exactly. You see that we are dealing with a divergence of people.
Okay.
People have different opinions. People have different expectations. So we are dealing with a whole lot of people. Okay. However, you see, when I was talking about the key principles of unionism, is that there must be a workplace. So at every point in time, the unions are always thinking about sustainability. We are not, you see, when you are sitting behind, you are more interested in the look of you.
Yes.
You are more interested in the look of you aspect of it. But we are looking at it beyond just the look of you. That today, if you eat all today, what happens tomorrow? And so those are the things we are always more interested in. And so there must be a workplace first for you to now be there to get the money. So if, for instance, we look at it in terms of, if, say, government gives you, say, 15%, and then some people must be laid off, is that the best decision we should take? If government gives you 15%, and then that place runs down in terms of we have a lot of state institutions that have collapsed. So we look at all these indicators in taking these decisions that, okay, yes, why don't we take something that at least still enables us to feed, yet the workplace also equally exists. And then both of us are satisfied.
Right.
So we do a lot of consultation. We consult our members, but definitely not everybody will always agree to your position.
Okay. What do you do to calm the workers when, they're agitated about some of these things?
Yes, when they're agitated about some of these things, it's a dialogue process. You need to always, before you go for the negotiation process, you consult them. After that, you come back and consult them as well. And then you bring out the issues. For instance, when you go for the negotiation process, what happens is that government or whoever the employer of will advance certain arguments for the reason for which what they can afford, they want to give you. At that point in time, your workers are not there. And so when you come back, these are the things you tell them back that, okay, it was based on A, B, C. That is why, for instance, a key example usually is, okay, we can give you 20%, but what will happen is that we have to lay this number of people off so that we can pay this. We are all within one family. Why should some people leave for some other people too? So when we look at it from that spectrum, we say, okay, this is why we have to take that decision. We want all of you to still be employed. So that's why we accept it. And so they buy into the idea, and then it's closed.
Okay, Betha, now let me ask you what benefits you have, received or had as a member of these unions from some of these collective bargainings.
So it has to do with medical. So depending on, let's say we go and bargain on behalf.
Okay, so you are part of the leadership.
Of course. So
right.
I would say as a collective achievement of UniAges for workers in different organizations that we sort of organize. So we've been able to give them decent work conditions. So in terms of medicals, you have organizations where they have free medical for their spouse and 4 children under the age of 21 who are going to school. We also have better salary structures where people are paid decent salaries.
Okay.
We also have leave. So the Labour Act states a minimum of about 15 days, but we have been able to negotiate like 30 days, 35 days for other workers in other places. So these are some of the few things we've been able to achieve.
Okay, are there people who work in some of these institutions who are not part of your unions?
Oh yes, a lot.
Why do you think they don't want to join?
It is not they not wanting to join.
Okay.
It's one of the weaknesses we have actually in the country.
Okay.
As per the labor law, it does not take an employer to determine whether you should belong to a union or not.
Right.
However, it is said that you also need the cooperation of the employer for them to be harmony at the workplace as well. And so many times, actually, it is the employers who don't want the people to belong to the union, not the people not wanting to belong. And that is because many a times the employer sees the union to be an enemy. They think that when the union exists over there, but our first, like I keep saying, our first is sustainability. And so at every point in time, now when the union exists, you, the employer, no longer deals directly with the staff. You pass it through the union. So you don't deal directly with them anymore. So when there's agitation, when there's fighting, there's whatever, you take yourself out. And so that's one thing that employers don't know. That when unions rather exist, it makes your work easy. Because you don't confront workers yourself. You don't, all those load, you offload it to the union. And also the union's interest is that you should exist as an institution so that workers will be there.
Right.
So at every point in time, things which you cannot communicate well to them, we will be able to communicate to them for them to understand. So but there are a lot of places where we don't have unions, but basically it's not they who don't want to be the union, but it is the employer who doesn't want them to join the union.
So do you have to be in a government institution to be part of a union?
No, it cuts across private or government. For GHOne, they are fortunate to organize a lot of the public sector workers, right? And we at UniAges, because we are a latter day union, we just came about in 2011. Okay. And so around that time, most of the public institutions or organizations has already been organized by GHOne and other trade unions. So we are more at the private side. So we organize more at the private parts.
Right.
Yeah.
I see. Okay, before we go...
We can't have a Ghana health service, we can't have a Ghana education service, and we don't have a service for agriculture. At the grassroots level, agriculture is deficient because they operate through the local government structure. You can't operate another agency and a different ministry and then you expect to get the needed results. You can't do that. So at the local government, at the local level, the Department of Agriculture reports to the DC, who is the local government structure. And that is unfortunate. So for instance, if I am the director for agriculture and I want to go and do something, and then the DC wants to use the vehicle to go for a funeral, he will prioritize that and leave me. Because he is the mouthpiece and he is the one, the ultimate decision making at that level.
Okay. Beth, are you? Final words?
Well, it's to organizations. We would say they should see trade union as a social partner rather than an enemy, so that together we ensure that the sustainability of job is achieved. Yes.
All right. Thank you very much for coming on the show, both of you. Betha Anamlebna.
Yes.
Where are you from?
Upper East.
Oh, that's a very unique name.
Yeah.
Yes.
Anamlebna.
We are both from the same region.
Yes, both from the same region. She's with UniAges. What are you at UniAges?
Yeah, youth coordinator.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. And Dr. Pascal Ajongba Kaba is Deputy General Secretary for the General Agricultural Workers Union. Thank you so much for coming, both of you. Stay with me. There's more after this. You're welcome back to the show. This is GH Today, and it's time for Lifestyle. Today is Friday, and because of time, unfortunately, we've had to put our two artists together. Yao Darling, good morning. You're welcome to the show. It's your second time on the show, right?
Yeah, this is my second time.
This is your second time on the show. Okay. And you are...
Agbeshi.
Agbeshi.
Yes, please.
That's your song that was just played.
Please.
You're welcome to the
Thank
show
you.
as well. How have you been?
Been very good.
You have never been here.
I think I've been here a couple of times, but it's the first time I've been
Oh,
in a
is it?
session with
How long have you been doing music?
I've been here for like 6-7 years professionally.
Is it?
Yeah.
Okay. You have a nomination for... Oh, a while back. Okay, I see. How come I don't know you? Haven't heard of you. What kind of music do you do?
I do hip life and Afrobeat.
Do you do mainly Ewe language?
No.
No?
No, my biggest song that blew me was not even an Ewe song.
What song was it?
Yeah,
Maybe I know the song.
I've been danced to Yeroro home before.
Oh, that you're the one who did that song?
Yes, please.
Can you sing it?
Yeah, Sister
The one with
Kuz,
medical, right?
Exactly.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I know that song. Oh,
Right,
so then I
right.
know you. Yeah, because I would have been surprised. Anyway, so how's the music industry?
It's fine. Everything has been good. We've just been working, putting in the energy.
Have you been making money?
Of course, I'm okay.
You're okay?
Yeah.
Are you rich?
I'm saying I'm heading to,
What is it about the music industry that you don't like?
Well, I think prior to that, I say there's been a lot of we have had the mainstream, the A-list artists, and come to talk of when an artist emerge, then it looks like the whole attention is being thrown to, excuse my language, like the main artist, and then the other artist is not being look out for. You understand what I mean? So my thing is, the industry is supposed to look out for the new artists more, because after your main elite artist is no more active, what happens next? Then you fall on the new ones. But the question is, if help the young ones, how do you expect them to also, come to your aid when you, for so need them or anything? You understand me? So for me, I feel like, there should be more opportunity and chance for, the new artists that are coming into the industry. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, darling, how have you been as well? How's work?
I would say, yeah, it's all good. I just came back from London 5 days ago, but it's all good.
So then you just come. 5 days is a long time.
Still, you
just came. And what did you go to do?
All right, so I got a chance to perform in London for 2 shows.
Okay.
And I had interviews on Rainbow FM, Rainbow Radio in London, and also Obimanso. And I got a chance to meet big legendary artists like QSO DJ and others. I was with Stay J, I was with Olive the Boy, new artist, and Kiddy Blacko, they are out there and they showed me love.
Right.
So it was like a good experience for me as a new artist to get such a platform.
Did you get a nomination at this year's awards?
I filed for 3 categories, but try me, boy.
All of it?
Yeah, I didn't
What
get one.
categories?
New artist, high life song. I'm a high life artist.
Yeah.
Gen Z high life artist, and high life song of the year.
Okay.
And, yeah.
What do you think went wrong?
Okay, honestly, I feel like maybe I wasn't really recognized, and I need to put in more work. But I feel like my brother was saying, the team or the executive for TGMA needs to check our project. Like they need to put the spotlight on us new artists, because we are putting in the work and we are not getting recognized, which is not well.
But the year under review, do you think that you did enough work to be recognized?
Yeah, comparing my songs to all those artists who were nominated, I would say, yeah, I deserve.
So let's look at the high life category. Which people were nominated? Forgive me, I don't know. So which people were nominated?
Okay, so for the high life, Kwame Eugene was on it. But I don't want to mention all of them, their names, because...
why?
I can't really remember, like, it's a lot. So.
Okay, but you remember Kwame Eugene.
I remember Kwame
But you said
Eugene.
that looking at the other people, the people that were nominated, you did well.
Rap Father.
Who's Rap Father? He's also on
he was nominated.
High life artist.
Yeah, we all can never be winners. So even if I get nominated.
Oh no, I'm just asking. Oh, you guys, no offense. So he's a high life artist. Is there any?
Yeah, that's what was written on the list.
Okay, who else?
And King Paluta, Kofi Kinata.
Oh please, Kofi Kinata, he deserves to be there.
Yeah, that's true though, but it can't always be the same people.
Right, but that's why I asked you, in the year under review, do you have a song to beat these people that you talk about? Because Kofi Kinata is a superstar when it comes to high life music, right? King Paluta, well, I don't know the definition of like that kind of high life, but I know proper high life. So do you have songs that can beat this in the year under review?
I'll be grateful if we can play any of my high life songs here.
Your song with Bisakede.
It went viral. I had 20,000 videos on TikTok. And
is that the highest?
That was the song that took me to London.
Is it?
Yeah. So meaning, you see, all the new artists are focusing on different genres, and me as a new artist, born in Ghana, I grew up listening to such sound. I decided to do high life. So I feel like if the system is giving me much attention or focusing on me, it will rather motivate me to do more.
Okay, but do awards bother you? Like, are you very much interested in awards?
Yes, because you being recognized means that you are doing great in the music industry. And you know, both, let's say, all those people who do awards goes for excellence in music. So if I get recognized, it will rather make me feel like, yeah, I'm doing something.
Are you making money from music?
Yes, but I would say I still want more.
Okay.
I'm not rich though, but I'm grateful.
Okay, so if you're making money, which makes you comfortable, if the people love you, you're traveling around the world to play shows, what do you need the award for? Why don't you focus on your craft? And because I'm sure you know there are people like you who don't get awards, but they are very internationally recognized.
See, everybody and their dream or like their aspiration. Me
so your dream is to get awards?
Like if I get the award, my spirit, my soul will feel like, yeah, I've worked and I deserve it. And for you to know that you are doing well, you need to be nominated and get an award.
So the fans telling you you're doing well is not enough for you?
That is not enough.
Does the award come with money?
I don't know, but I just want the world to know that, yes, okay, I won this. Your darling was nominated for this. When I'm gone,
right.
Yeah, at least
you want to be recognized.
I want to be recognized
for being a winner at the TGMA.
So it's a competition, and if you're able to win, meaning now you are putting in the work.
Right.
So I would be grateful if I get recognized and nominated for TGMA.
But what do you take from all of this? That you were not nominated, what do you take from it?
I would say it's normal. I respect the board for TGMA. I respect their decisions, and I'm looking forward to.
Harder.
Yeah, I just want to work harder and get recognized. But they should focus on the new artists more, because we are doing great music that needs to be heard. And if they don't look at our works, people won't even respect our craft. Because you say you are an artist and we didn't even see your name. Where I'm from Ashanti Central Region. Me and Kennedy Japan are from the same place. So my people will be like, yeah, we didn't see your name in the list. The fans were complaining. So they should look at us.
What has where you come from got to do with winning the award?
My name is Clan.
Okay, Agbeshi, were you also nominated?
No.
Did you file?
No.
Why?
I don't know, for some reason. I think I'm sorry, but it looks like the TGMA board itself is not fishing out to look around. I mean, more than just the usual that they know. It's like when you don't have a representative in whatever board it is, then it means like you're not being looked out for. This conversation has been going on for a while, you know, and sometimes when we don't speak about it, it becomes like, yo, and then the boys are putting in work, you understand? Like where I'm from the Volta region, I can tell you, the boys put in a lot of work. I mean, a lot goes into it. But when it gets to time like this and the boys are not recognized, like it hits them in the face, you know? Because like you were asking Darlington right now, it's not just about grabbing the award, but like it motivates you, you know? And all these artists need to be motivated one way or the other. So me, for example, I've been looking at the whole scheme like, what else do you guys want me to do for you guys? Like, I did here, I did do the thing day in and out. I pack almost about 10,000 crowd every time in my region, you know, and so on and so on. I mean, check the statistics. I've done a lot. So when it comes to time like this and I'm not being recognized, I look like, you're like, okay, if you say what I want to do, I make what I do. But
if you don't file, how do you want them to nominate you?
Because I have filed so many times. I have filed so many times.
When last did you file?
I think 2-3 years ago I did.
But 3 years ago is a long time. Have you heard of consistency
is this about
and
last
persistency?
Year? It be that last year where I no file because they didn't deal with me well. I feel like my work is not being appreciated.
So why don't you keep filing? Just maybe because don't you believe in, you know, times and seasons?
That means I go file before God go come.
How do you know? You don't believe that there'll come a time where, because if I am not wrong, I've heard people like R2Bs and co say they are not so interested in the awards, but they get it. Like Guru hasn't been getting awards too. He's been complaining, but he's good, right?
Yeah.
So why don't you keep filing? Maybe one day they will.
You know, see, my thing is, it's not just for the fact that I don't want to file. I respect the scheme because I have been traveling around as well. So there's been a couple of conversations. I won my most popular song, first ever award, as in what I would get when I'm grabbing an award from Ghana Music from the UK. You understand? So if I'm being recognized in the UK and my own people here don't recognize me, then what are we doing?
Do you think the Ghana Music Awards is corrupt? Is not fair?
I think they need to look more into, you know, because it looks like it's just one way side. There's some group of people. They are, and you know, the boys they work. The boys are putting a lot of work. You know, investment, time, energy to make sure they represent the Ghana music. My brother is just saying he just got back from the UK. Just imagine if it's first class where he flew, how much he spent to do all of those stuff. It's just because to represent Ghana music. So it's just fair. You look at the guys, motivate them. It's just beautiful because when I had the chance to be on BBC for the first time, a couple of questions came across, and I was being asked if I've been awarded in Ghana. Then I have to say I was awarded in the UK. Is it that shameful? It doesn't make any sense.
Right.
So I feel like, look, the boys are doing it. We are doing it.
Do you also like awards that much?
I will not say I like award, but it motivates me, you know.
Right.
I feel like, you know, because I'm going to be there, maybe Miami Beach, some country house one day with my legs crossed and my kids will be playing with it. Daddy, you grab this, and it's beautiful. I mean, my kids to be able to live to see something.
I see.
You know,
Okay, let's now talk about your music. So I know you both have new songs out. Yeah, you have a new song, Password, and you have another one, Alagbato. What does Alagbato mean?
Liar.
Liar.
Yeah.
Okay. You have have you lived in the UK?
No.
Okay.
I just go in and out.
In and out. Okay. Yeah. So tell us about Password.
Okay, so basically Password is just relationship trust issues. You see,
why are you always thinking about relationship and trust issues?
Because it's something that is going on in the system.
Or they are your personal experiences?
Yeah, my friends are going through.
You yourself, have
my
you?
My friends, my circle. So the thing is,
you sing about people's problems, but not yours.
I'm for the universe, so I sing for them. I do the music for the world, not myself.
So relationship trust issues, what's happening?
Okay, so like, you see, in a relationship, people find it very difficult to share their password with their partners.
Who told you? Your friends?
No, like I've seen it a couple of times, and I feel like...
Do you share your password with your partner?
When I get one, I'll share with her.
But you don't have a partner yet?
Yeah, if I get one, even
so
if you...
as it stands, do you have a partner?
Partner? Like, no.
Do you have a girlfriend?
No, please.
Okay. But if you do, you share your password.
If I get girlfriend right now, I'll give my phone password, bank password, everything.
Would you expect your girlfriend to do same?
Yes. Because I feel like if you're able to share your password with your partner, it means you trust.
Have you heard of privacy?
Privacy is true, but if you can't share your password with me, then I need to fear you.
So that's what the song is about?
Exactly. But I was saying in the song that I would give my password to my baby girl, my girlfriend. But meanwhile, the girlfriend I'm not having right now at the moment. But in the song, I said because people are going to relate with the song. So those who are in love should give their password to their partners. That's basically what I was trying to say.
What's stopping you from getting a girlfriend? To share your password with you?
I need money.
To get a girlfriend?
Not only money, but I feel like being on the label, I need to put in more work right now. And I'm now building my career. Because I can spend more time in the studio working on the project 24/7. You'll be calling, disturbing my ears. Hey, I called you. I don't want those kind of complaints. So I decided to build my career to a certain level before I will enter into a relationship.
Okay.
I get sugar mommy.
You want a sugar mommy?
No.
We heard that. You want a sugar mommy because are you a gold digger?
Oh no, I'm not a gold digger.
So what do you need a sugar mommy
I just want someone who is mature.
Let's listen to Password.
I don't need any desire. I have you or let you protect you like my Tyson.
Not really. So, is this an incident between my two friends? Be like, Kwame and MP and Kelvin Boy. I know I saw them being played by one girl, so I just thought I should just.
So all of you sing about relationships.
Okay, my one day be real thing happen.
He too said it's real.
Yeah, Kevin
so your
Boy,
two friends.
Kevin Boy then Kwame and MP. Yeah, I see some girl be they play the two of them, and
Is
they're my
it?
good friends too. So I feel like.
And you know this for a fact.
Those are my brothers. We're always together.
So one girl was playing the two of them.
Yeah. So I just feel like, look.
What happened? Tell me.
So you know the thing is that I realized the girl comes to Kwamina and then later moved to Kelvin.
Which girl is this?
You know her, but I'll not mention her name. You know, but I felt like, you know.
And you decided to sing about them.
Yeah.
They didn't want to sing about it.
I think recently I told Kelvin about it. It was like, oh really? So that girl said, "Me now come out my give up." So.
Is this like a real life story?
Oh yeah, for real.
I see.
Oh, you want me to call Kelvin right now? So.
Oh, you don't have to. Okay, so that's why you made the song.
Yeah.
Alone.
No, I was on there with GHOne.
Okay, let's watch it.
Last time you went
Yao Darlington or Yao?
It's Darling.
Yao Darling. Is there someone called Darlington?
Yeah, that's Kweku Darlington.
Ah, okay, Yao Darling. So this song that he has with Pisa Kede, because you came to play it on this show, right?
Yes,
if you have it, I'd like to hear it. And then, it's not ready, but you guys need to check that song out. It's really good. But let's enjoy this one from Agbesi. The Yeroro. What's the motivation behind that song?
Oh, it's a gospel song.
Okay. All right. Thank you for coming and thank you for watching the show. What's the celebration for? Is Eid al-Adha, Eid al-Fitr for the Muslims? I see you again on Monday, God willing. And is what? You want to say, wish your Muslim friends?
Yeah, we are celebrating it together. I'm going to get my job, But then I have a dance challenge to Password, created by a dance called Lloyd. He's doing amazing on TikTok for Password.
What's it? Please play Password. Let's see. If it's difficult, don't even try.
It's not difficult. It's very simple.
Okay, please play Password and increase the volume.
So it's